the narrative, viewers, that it is a defender of the faith. That's what DK Shivakumar is trying to say here. And which is this political party? The BJP. Now viewers, should a leader who participates in the Bharat Jodo Yatra that is being led today by Rahul Gandhi and who aspires to unify the country be whitewashing a terror incident by suggesting that the accused committed a mistake even before the courts or the police can look into this matter? DKS, as Mr. Shivakumar is known, is directly contradicting Karnataka DGP Praveen Sood, who confirmed after the blast that it was an act of terror. The NIA got into it and suspects Sharik, the man accused, has links with the IS. That's what the NIA is telling us. Now viewers, should it not be left for the court to decide whether the case that is being built up against Sharik is legitimate, if the proof that has been collected against him stands up to scrutiny? Obviously, viewers, it is for the court to decide. This is not, of course, the first time that DK Shivakumar has tried to gloss over this deadly attempt at sowing the seeds of communal disharmony or hate. He had said as much earlier in the same context about the same blast. Listen to this.
Well, the
BJP is behind it, sir?
Yes, see, they just tried to blow it. They should have done an investigation, fair investigation. Let them do it. Let them act. Let them punish. Let them hang whomever they want. When things of the entire vote system was being under theft, they just tried to deviate. There was no need of the DG or the police reacting to it. There is a system.
So he was also making IEDs at home. A lot of evidence has come out against him.
That is okay. Let them take action. But immediately posing on terrorism, no? They were using terrorism. What is it? Where is the evidences of it? If he has done wrong, we want any action to be taken. But the way they've blown it, no, is a political game.
So viewers, not once but twice, trying to inject doubts, suggesting that one community is being targeted by the state apparatus, obviously playing, therefore, viewers, to the galleries. Now over in Kashmir, if this is the story about Karnataka, then in Kashmir too, viewers, another line was crossed. Again by a leading politician. After the state administration ran a bulldozer over the house of wanted terror mastermind Jaish-e-Mohammed commander Ashik Nehru to escalate costs on him, Mehbooba Mufti, former chief minister of Kashmir, Jammu and Kashmir, linked the action to Islamophobia by painting the terrorist as a victim of state repression against one community, the Muslim community. Listen to this, viewers.
के खिलाफ जो एक्शन हो रहा है
ना बहुत हो गया इसके को वही वो ड्रॉक यूज ज्यादा करना है
बहुत हो गया. Don't push the envelope against one community. Viewers, these politicians often say that terrorists don't have a religion. Now they are coming out and conceding that there is some affiliation. Now, Mehbooba Mufti is a repeat offender, the PDP chief. Now, she's playing to the galleries, viewers. Clearly, she wants to be in the conversation because she thinks by giving a clean chit to terror, a large number of Muslims will support her and say, look, she speaks for us. Viewers, Indian Muslims do not condone terrorism, and neither do the ordinary citizens of this country. You cannot win brownie points. As Dr. Manmohan Singh said, it's a cancer, and everyone knows that terrorism is a cancer. And Mehbooba Mufti has called terrorists in the past sons of the soil. She's done everything to try and whitewash their sins. They spare no one. Hindus, Muslims, they shoot down everybody, viewers, who comes in their way. So let's open this up and ask some honest questions tonight. We have some esteemed voices, and we should begin by posing some pointed questions. Let me begin with Dr. Shankar Goa, leader of the Congress from the Karnataka unit of the Congress party, Mr. D.K. Shivkumar's Congress there in Karnataka. Dr. Guha, on what basis are the actions of a alleged ISIS-linked terrorist being trivialized by describing them as some sort of a mistake? Who is D.K. Shivkumar to give clean chits? Can you explain to all our viewers tonight?
Good evening, Rahul, and to all the panelists. At the outset, I think D.K. Shivkumarji has made it clear that he has not been judgmental, or he has not passed any sort of a comment giving a clean chit to anyone. There are certain doubts that has raised in the minds or in the people of Karnataka as far as this issue is concerned. Every time there is an issue, it is used to the maximum benefit of creating an agenda. Let me quote a few examples to you, Rahul, before I come to the issue. The case of Paresh Mehta, his death happened in 2018, and then Anant Kumar Hegde, the MP, BJP MP, said every drop of blood will be given justice. What happened to that case? 2 months ago, the CBI filed a closure report saying it's an accidental death. Now, why isn't the national media talking anything about the voter ID scam? There is an obvious attempt to paint the Congress as sort of a protecting the Muslim terrorists. No, we are not doing that. There are 40 cases, Rahul, 40 cases of alleged deaths of alleged BJP workers or some Bajrang Dal, etc., etc. Not a single case has reached its logical end. Not a single conviction till now. The best example I can quote to you is of Paresh Mehta. They used it so much to their benefit. They used it so much. They, the whole country was going ha-ha about it. But what happened ultimately? The CBI has closed the case. I can quote so many more examples like
Can
this.
I, sir, since
now,
you are
our
talking about
stand is very
examples.
clear as far as this investigation is concerned.
Right.
No, just allow me to finish it. Our stand is very clear. We are not sympathizing any terrorist or any terrorist organization or any religion as such. If he is guilty, please conduct a free, fair and fast investigation and punish them.
No,
that is
sir,
our stand, and we stand with the country as far as that is concerned.
That is not your stand. That is not your stand, sir. Your stand is, and let me quote your stand. You tell me, is he a big terrorist? What do you mean by a big terrorist? Someone who kills 100 people, 200 people, 500 people, blows up the World Trade Center. And what do you mean by small terrorist? Someone who kills 2 people in the name of religion, ideology, half a person, injures a few. Is that a small terrorist? I mean, are you today distinguishing between terrorists on the number of people they kill? So terrorism can wreak havoc through ideas. That is what D.K. Shivkumar has said. Please let me know, he says. What action have you taken? Who was declared? No, 1 second. Let me finish, sir.
Rahul,
let me finish, sir. I didn't interrupt you. You finished. Let me just state my case here. Was it a terror act like what happened in Mumbai or Kashmir or Pulwama? So should we wait for people to die? Or if a terror attack is interceded in time and a big bomb that was supposed to go off goes off in a controlled manner, thank goodness, because the act is detected, or because somebody could not put the fuse right, the bomb doesn't go off, etc. Should we then say, oh, that's okay, bomb फटा ही नहीं, तो भाई innocent है, चलो छोड़ दो इसको, bomb नहीं फटा. अरे छोटा terrorist act था, 1-2 लोग मार दिए, कोई problem नहीं. I mean, what is the Congress party saying? And on the second point, since you brought facts about this Mr. Mesa, etc., the NI is investigating this case. And should I tell you, sir, what is the conviction rate of the NI? It is 93%, the highest among all probe agencies. Mr. Amit Shah, the Union Home Minister, speaking in Parliament, has put the facts. He said that in a short span of 13 years, the agency has registered more than 400 cases, filed charge sheets in 349 cases, arrested 2,494 accused, as well as convicted 391 accused. Amit Shah said that this particular National Investigative Agency has the highest conviction rate of 93.25%. It's the highest among all agencies. And he's saying that it is going to strive for 100% conviction rate. And here you are pointing out to one exception and building a case and saying, you tell me, is he a big terrorist? Please let me know.
No.
What is a big terrorist, sir?
Rahul,
and what is a small terrorist? No, you answer what DK Shivkumar is asking. I want to ask you, Dr. Shankar Guha, you are a doctor,
I will tell you,
you are an intelligent man. What is a small and a big terrorist? What is a small and a big terrorist? Can you define me one?
No, there is no distinguishing factor.
So why is
between
DK
big
Shivkumar
and small
saying this?
A terrorist is a terrorist.
So why is Mr. DK Shivkumar saying
I haven't heard
this?
him say that. If he has
You haven't
said
heard
that,
him?
I'm
I'll
sure
play it out.
would be a
No, wait.
slip of the tongue.
I'll play out the soundbite. Since you are now pleading
If he has said
deafness
that-
or selective deafness, let me play it out. No, Dr. Guha.
Allow me to complete.
No. There is no. I will play it out.
Be a slip of a tongue.
Slip of the tongue, a mistake, just like the mistake the terrorist is supposed to have committed.
If he has said that, it could be a mistake.
Oh
but let me categorically tell you let me categorically tell you the Congress party says that we stand with the people of the state. There is no distinguishing factor between a small and a big terrorist. A terrorist is a terrorist, whether the act could complete or not. As you said, a terrorist is a terrorist. We want a free, fair and fast investigation. If he is guilty, punish him.
No,
but don't talk, don't talk only about that. There are many other issues in Karnataka.
But doctor, can I come back to you? Can I come back to you? Doctor, will you allow me to speak?
Why aren't you talking about the...
Will you allow me to speak?
No, Rahul, just
will you allow me to speak? Listen, I'll lower your fader. I'm counting till 3. 1,
why isn't
2,
the national media
3.
talking about...
Shut him down. The man has no etiquette. Now let me start again with Dr. Guha. The good doctor. Good Dr. Guha, let me ask you a simple question. I will go to the other doctor also, the interpreter of maladies, Dr. Ranganathan, right now. But before that, let me come to you. Dr. Guha, you tell me, this is what DK Shivkumar says. He is a big terrorist. You tell me, is he a big terrorist? Why do you think Dr. Shivkumar said this?
Sorry?
Why do you think Dr. Shivkumar began by saying, you tell me, is he a big terrorist? Question mark.
I think what he meant to say is what is happening with the investigation. Because after this incident happened a month ago, we are not aware of what is happening after that. There was a lot of hype around it. They arrested somebody. But what after that? Just like the Harsha murder case in Shivamogga, 4 months, 5 months back, there was so much of hype. Harsha's sister goes to the Home Minister and requests him, sir, what is happening with my brother's case? The Home Minister, Aragya Gyanendra, shouts at her and sends her back. So similarly, I think what DK Shivakumar ji wanted to say is what is happening with the investigation.
Then you should have said, you tell me what is happening with the investigation. Why is he saying, you tell me he's a big terrorist? Please let me know. I really, I rest my case here, viewers. You have heard the good doctor defend the indefensible by coming up with some, sorry to say, asinine explanation tonight. Now let me go to the interpreter of maladies, Dr. Ranganathan. There is a malady here.
One last thing.
Dr. Ranganathan, no, 1 second, sir. I've spent enough time with you. Please, 4 other people, 8 other people, in fact, I'm being told now by Director Saab, Sharif Bhai. So let me go to the others also, please. I will invite you for a one-on-one one of these days. We'll have a nice chat. But let me go back to Dr. Ranganathan. Dr. Ranganathan, now you see, I don't understand what is going on. There is a malady here, and I want you to interpret this malady. I believe this malady is called appeasement politics. Am I right? Or is your diagnosis a little different from mine? I'm happy to be corrected.
Let me correct you straight away, Rahul. I severely object to what you've done in the last 10 minutes. You've completely killed off this whole debate. Who asked you to be so logical and rational and give all the dates and figures and data? including the NIA conviction rate, which is 93%. And these people are trying to belittle by saying, by bringing out one or two cases, ignoring the thousands of other cases that NIA have solved. So, please don't do this. आप ये करोगे तो हम लोग क्या करेंगे? अब मैं चुप रहा हूँ क्या 3 minutes? No, but Rahul, let's get to the facts, straight away. Congress has always buckled when it comes to terrorism. And, this is because of 3 reasons. Appeasement, placating a vote bank, or plain fear of being branded communal and Islamophobic. And unfortunately, increasingly, this fear and appeasement has started cutting across party lines and ideologies. You can test this right now. No one belonging to a political party on the panel right now will have the guts to say terrorism has a religion. Kashmir is a living and breathing example of this, Rahul. They will even certify that the slogan shouted on the night of January 1990 from the top of mosques, Relive, Galiv, Taliv, deaths to Kafirs, Pandits, leave your women behind, convert, run or die, Nizam-e-Mustafa, had nothing to do with religion. But there are hundreds more examples. Air Chief Dhanoa is on record saying that the Indian Air Force wanted to bomb terror hideouts in Pakistan in the wake of 26/11, but was forbidden to do so by the then Prime Minister Manmohan Singh. India rewarding Pakistan for their 2008 attack on our embassy in Kabul by capitulating miserably in the Sharm el-Sheikh Declaration. Tens of thousands attending the funeral of terrorist Yaqub Maman or of terrorist Burhan Wani led by Congress leaders. The mainstreaming of PFI and other such organizations. Sonia Gandhi crying tears of sorrow after the Batla House encounter. Terrorist Yasin Malik celebrated by India's Prime Minister. I can go on and on and on. And let us be clear on one thing. Poverty or illiteracy have nothing to do with the fundamentalism. Fundamentals have. And even though your financial or educational status might change, the fundamentals will never do. They are eternal. You can be from Harvard or Cambridge or IIT and still blow up the World Trade Center or charge at the Gorakhnath temple shouting Allahu Akbar. In fact, the more educated you are, the more convinced you are of the fundamentals. Please understand. There is nothing called radicalization or radical Islam, but our politicians don't have the courage to admit this. On the other hand, they have ample courage to brand Hinduism as a terrorist religion, as was allegedly claimed by a Congress youth wing leader recently. They have courage to brand Hindu god Parashuram a terrorist and a rapist, as was recently done by a Goa Congress leader. They have courage to hail Aurangzeb who killed 4.6 million Hindus. They have courage to celebrate Tipu Jayanti despite knowing he demolished hundreds of temples and converted and butchered lakhs of Hindus. They have the courage to coin the phrase saffron terror because they don't fear their sir separating from their ton. That's the reality. Can we face up to it?
Can we face up to it? He asks. This Dr. Ranganathan has sniffed out the malady. Just using a stethoscope, he put it to the heart, the beating, pulsating heart of the Congress party and picked the murmur up of appeasement, Tehseen Poonawalla. And Tehseen Bhai, he says, with a flourish of a rhetorician, can you explain why for some Hindu terror is a reality and Islamist terror is a mistake? What drives this hypocrisy? Is it appeasement? And let me also ask you while I'm at it, can you first tell me what Dr. D.K. Shivakumar means when he says rhetorically, you tell me, is he a big terrorist? Question mark. Can you explain that first and then answer the question that I posed?
No, so I disagree with that statement. You're never half pregnant. You're pregnant or not pregnant. You're not a small terrorist or big terrorist. You're simply a terrorist. Terrorist like the Sanatan Sanstha, who, by the way, in 2018, when Devendra Fadnavis was chief minister, they're terrorists.
They're terrorists.
You're pregnant or not pregnant.
Okay.
You're terrorist or not a terrorist. Sanatan Sanstha. 2018, Devendra Fadnavis chief minister. They posed as another religious group to plant bombs. Just like this Karnataka case, the bombs didn't got off, they were caught. Till today, Sanatan Sanstha has not been banned by the strongest man in the universe, Amit Shah, by the strongest chief minister in Maharashtra, Devendra Fadnavis.
So one second, can I ask you, because this is very important.
Appeasement, I'm asking you.
No, I'm asking you.
I'm asking you, is that
can I ask
appeasement?
you, because you have described an agency, a group of people as terror group, right? You have said.
NIA has asked for it to be banned.
Okay, so you have said
the government hasn't.
So you have said so, right? You have said that.
Not me, the NIA, 93% conviction rate.
I'm asking you.
No, NIA, 93% conviction rate.
Has anyone,
Amit Shah hasn't done it. Why?
Excuse me, sir. Has anyone from the Sanatan Sanstha as you have said. I'm just asking because it is strange to me that we are not applying the same yardsticks.
We should.
DK Shivkumar, well, then DK Shivkumar is guilty.
He's guilty. I'm
He's
saying
guilty.
it.
Okay.
There is no if and but.
DK Shivkumar
I am very
is
clear
guilty of playing appeasement politics. I actually
said.
salute you.
May I please make
Well
this
said.
point?
This is
But please allow me
this
to
is,
say-
no, 1 minute, 1 minute. This is very important. This is a point of inflection in this debate. I think that lunch you had with Dr. Anand Ranganathan has served you very well.
I applaud the suspended Tehseen
What did you give him
Poonawala.
to eat?
But allow
I
me to make-
applaud the suspended spokesperson Tehseen
I'm not.
Poonawala.
Neither am I
applaud the
suspended. Neither am I the
So
spokesperson.
he will be suspended now.
And neither will I be suspended.
He
Listen.
will be suspended.
Listen. Can I
From
please make my
from
point?
chalo, anyhow.
Please allow me to make my
No,
point.
just 1 second.
Can I please-
I want to ask you on this.
Sure.
I'm asking you. I'm not going away from
Sure.
you. I will never deny you this platform
Sir.
because you are making today the most logical point.
I've also on your show said, Sir,
So-
Tan Se Juda is a terror chant. Have I not said it?
So since
I've said it.
You have said it. And since you are saying all these things with a great deal of clarity, unlike the other doctor, the good doctor, the Dr. Guha, I want to ask you then, is DK Shivkumar playing to the galleries and actually playing vote bank politics? It's a simple question.
I don't know him well enough to know what he's doing, but the Muslims don't support these statements. They don't want it, and please don't do it. Please. Neither, and I've tweeted this publicly, this thing about building a statue for Tipu Sultan. Please stop doing these politics for Muslims. What Muslims need, the enemies of Muslims, young Muslims, are the same enemies of young Hindus. Unemployment, joblessness, 40% corrupt sarkar in Karnataka that needs to be thrown out. So please stop making statements, particularly when you represent a political party that's lost 2 prime ministers to the worst terror attacks, Martyr Indira Gandhi, Martyr Rajiv Gandhi. Please stop making such statements. That's my advice.
So
But
I'm
I want
emboldened
but I
to
want
ask you then the follow-up question. Mumbai attack were described as RSS ki sajish.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Batla House, as Dr. Ranganathan said, the encounter
Yes.
brought tears to the eyes of Sonia ji.
I'm
That is what
I'm grateful you brought that up.
Khurshid Saab said.
I'm grateful you brought that up. May I clarify?
Why so much
Right.
compassion for the acts of Islamist terror? Doesn't it suggest a pattern of selective appeasement here also then?
Right. I'm grateful you got me. I just will request 30 seconds on Batla House not to
Please.
be interrupted.
Yeah.
On Batla House.
And
this-
Mumbai.
No, and Mumbai. First Batla House, 30 seconds. The slain officer was given the highest award, highest gallantry award by the President Prime Minister. Mrs. Sonia Gandhi wrote to him, and I quote, to his wife, to his widowed wife, that the sacrifice of you and valor of your husband will not go in vain. We will ensure the perpetrators of this crime are hanged to death. Salman Khurshid made statements that were not required, as did Digvijay Singh, and both were pulled up by then Janardhan Dwivedi. Times of India quotes it, that these are statements that are not the official statements of the Congress. They were pulled up and
I don't know, sir. I mean,
you may
Salman
check Times
Khurshid
of India.
said he
ask
met
your
her,
team.
he saw the tears now.
And,
You
and I can show you, and I
Why
can give you.
hasn't he been then
Sir,
sacked?
may I
Why hasn't he been then sacked
you
from the
promised me
Congress for
30
lying
seconds.
about the
Sir, you
captain
promised
of the
me 30
Congress?
seconds. You owe that to me. Mrs. Sonia Gandhi wrote a letter and the highest award by the UPA government, then President Pratibha Patil, and the Prime Minister
10 seconds.
and the Home Minister and Chief Minister of Delhi attended his funeral. That's number one. No BJP leader did. Number two, on 26/11, I completely agree. Digvijay Ji's statement should not have come. But you know, Anand, and please fact check me this, the other leader who made that statement, Kripa Shankar Singh, is today washing machine claimed in the BJP. The same BJP when 26/11 was happening. The Chief Minister of Gujarat was doing a press conference against our forces while our forces were fighting. The same Chief Minister. Who was the Chief Minister of Gujarat? Anand, fact check me. Narendra Modi ji. He went to the widow of Hemant Karkare ji
enough,
with a check of
rhetoric.
1 crore
Tehseen,
rupees.
please
I
allow.
therefore say
Please allow.
political parties, Congress and
Dr.
BJP
Ranganath.
should stop doing politics
Yes.
on politics
Dr. Ranganath.
and please act on what
Quick
is
response.
national interest.
I want to open this further. Yes.
Very briefly, Tehseen, you've tried this number of times, but you know it, my good friend, that when you accuse me of not saying something, you already know that I am the first person to have said it. I am the first person to have castigated the BJP for recruiting Mr. Kripa Shankar Singh. Even before that, the first person to have castigated BJP to have taken in the person who coined the word saffron terror.
RK
So you can't accuse me, but I have to tell you this. When you talk of Sonia Gandhi writing a letter, you are absolutely right. Sonia Gandhi wrote a letter to the Shahi Imam of Jama Masjid, apologizing
Yes.
for the Danes drawing cartoons. This is what she did, and this is what appeasement.
Did Vajpayee sir go to Shahi Imam of Jama Masjid asking for votes? Yes or no? Dr. Ranganathan, since you sniff out the lies, sniff out this lies, why did Prime Minister Vajpayee go to the Shahi Imam? What was the need, sir? I request you, answer my question.
Let him finish.
Even though you say Modi is your Prime Minister, I say our Prime
He is
Minister.
my Prime Minister.
On the floor of the Parliament, demanded an apology from the Danish cartoonist. हमारा क्या लेना देना था भाई? This is what appeasement is. Tehseen, please agree to that.
Sir, I agree with you.
Okay.
You agree that Vajpayee ji was wrong in going to the Shahi Imam of Jama
Obviously he
Masjid.
was. If he did, very wrong.
You agree that Prime Minister Modi was
who
wrong
hails, no,
during
one
a press
second.
conference
But who
outside the
hails,
Embassy was
but who
fighting?
is the loudest,
You agree?
one second, but who, viewers, is the loudest cheerleader of Mr. Vajpayee's politics? It's the Congress today. Why? Because he went to the Shahi Imam. Is that the reason?
Correct.
Please answer.
I think
Tehseen Saab,
I
please
think
answer.
religion should
Please
be kept
answer.
out of,
Is that the
perhaps
reason?
I may
Is
be
that the
short
reason?
of my head
Is
would be
that the reason?
Religion should be
Is
kept
that
out of
the- no, no,
politics.
you are
I'm
evading the
standing
question.
by it.
You are evading
I'm
the
standing
question.
by it.
You are
No
evading the
religion should be
question.
allowed in politics.
You are evading the question.
I am not.
Viewers, please note.
I am not a
asked him,
fan. I am not the
is
most-
the
I'm not a fan of
BJP's,
Vajpayee ji.
is the BJP's one of their breakaway leaders, Mr. Vajpayee, hailed the most by the Congress because he went to the Shahi Imam? It's the question I'm asking. Can you answer that?
I don't think that's the reason why he's hailed, and
Oh,
I think that's
see.
wrong.
That's not the reason
and I
why
think
he's
religion
hailed.
should be kept out of politics, and I
So
stand by that.
Let's open this up for the viewers. You see, at every level, we're seeing Congress sympathizers take the line that is most convenient. So DK Shivkumar is now being villainized by one of the closest supporters of the Congress. In fact, he's related to the first family of the Congress party. Perhaps that's why he enjoys immunity. If Sanjay Jha had said this, he had been suspended. Not just from his bootstraps. But nonetheless, this is an interesting one. No action will be taken. Dr. Guha tried to defend valiantly. He's got contradicted by Tehseen. So, viewers, now you have the forked tongue. It flickers in and out. Now, if I will ask the JDS this question, Tanveer Ahmed Saab, is DK Shivkumar playing? Very simple. I want to bring in Rahul Ishwar also. Is DK Shivkumar playing appeasement politics? Tehseen says yes. Would you agree?
Rahul,
Yes, sir.
suddenly,
I can hear
Rahul,
you. Yes, sir.
DK Shivakumar words are delectable. Rahul, DK Shivakumar words are delectable, but the reality is quite harsh. Yes, he must be trying to play appeasement politics, but appeasement would in Congress would definitely mean that giving more seats to Muslims, solving their education problem, bringing them to mainstream, giving them jobs, identifying their capacity. That would be an appeasement. Coming and supporting a terror accused is definitely not appeasement. I don't think as a Muslim leader and belonging to a group of Muslims which are governing the Muslim body here, we would definitely condemn DK Shivakumar's statement.
You condemn it?
No Muslim
Secular party,
community,
JDS,
no Muslim imam, no
that has
masjid,
claims
no
on
school,
secularism
no
condemns.
organization.
Dr. Guha, your former ally, condemns. Respond to your former ally. Respond to Tehseen Poonawala. Dr. Guha, I am not putting you here on the mat. Rahul Shivshankar is not putting you on the mat. Mr. Tehseen Poonawala is putting you on the mat, and so is the great, glorious Tanveer Ahmed.
Proud of you, Tanveer bhai.
Applause.
No.
Dr. Guha.
See, DK Shivakumar has made a stand. DK Shivakumar ji has made a stand very clear. Please go through his Twitter handles. He has not sympathized with any of the terror outfits or any of the terror
This is not sympathizing.
accused.
Please, Tehseen Poonawala,
All he
please
has
tell
said
your
is
own,
do a
tell your
free,
own
fair
mate.
and impartial
Please,
trial.
tonight you need to stand up and tell him.
No, please see. No, please go through
you
his
can't keep
Twitter.
quiet
And Rahul,
tonight.
you said one more thing about the 90%
Tehseen Poonawala, you
conviction
can't keep
rate.
quiet.
In Karnataka, out of the 45 murder cases,
You
not
can't
a
keep
single conviction.
You can't keep quiet.
The conviction
You
rate
need
is
to
zero.
tell the gentleman, Dr. Guha, who might be
Conviction
an
rate is
acolyte
zero in Karnataka.
of DK Shivkumar, where he's wrong. Please tell him. Please tell him now.
Look,
Congress to Congress, viewers.
no,
Please.
first of all, I'm not Congress. He's the Congress spokesperson.
Okay.
I'm a supporter.
Congress family to Congress.
No,
Okay,
one second.
come on.
खूब लड़ो,
What-
समाप्त कर दो एक दूसरे को.
One second.
No, please tell him. Tell him he's
Let's
wrong.
can I have my say?
No, don't.
I heard
don't-
Dr. Goa.
Now don't do a.
Can I have an independent say, independent of Dr. Goa?
No,
I
you
think
tell
the choice
Dr.
of
Goa.
words.
Go to his
Can
Twitter
I-
handle.
I think
Go
the
through
choice
his
of
Twitter
words-
handle. See what he has said.
I'm seeing his Twitter handle. What DK Shivakumar is saying is, have this investigation, do it correctly, and don't leak it out. But I still stand by my earlier stand. Please don't talk in any sense that encourages the BJP or any other political party to show that you're compromising on terror.
Viewers,
Don't compromise
how
on
clever-
terror. It is
how
not
clever,
required.
How
I
clever
stand by it.
Tahseen Poonawalla has now been. Did you get a message right now from the
No,
higher ups?
question-
I think
how
you must
you
have just got a
compromise on
message.
terror?
How?
You have forgotten your friend, Dr. Ranganathan, who took you out for a meal and explained
Tehseen,
to
I'm
you.
cancelling our lunch.
He's cancel that lunch. Cancel it. Let me open this up. Let me open this up.
Shivshankar, just one
Yes.
submission.
Yes, Rahulji. Go ahead.
In the war on terror, we can always trust patriotic Indian Muslims better than pseudo-secular Hindus. Because pseudo-secular Hindus always have their own angle appeasing people, and let us be honest about it. Our Muslim brothers vote more as a bloc. En masse they usually vote. And Congress want to, and many leaders in Congress like DK Shivakumar wants to get that particular vote bank by saying, see, we have defended your interest. He is basically appeasing the heartland of Muslim community. Whereas if people like Tehseen ji or Tanveer Bhai, these stands are taken, everyone will respect Muslim community and them a spokesperson too. But the pseudo-secular Hindus, what they usually do is they appease the Islamist hardliners in the hope or in the false hope that they will get votes. This is the wrong thing that Congress has to change. Congress has to be more nationalistic. Congress has to be more patriotic.
Rahul, Congress is the
has to
most
be hard on terror.
nationalistic political party in this country. It's lost 2 prime ministers.
I'm not talking about people like
What
Dwight
DK
said,
Shivakumar
people who
said
go for appeasement.
could have been avoided.
People who go
I am
for
not going to
appeasement.
sit on Rahul's show and deny it. It should have been avoided. It was wrong. But to say Congress, to link it to Congress is wrong. Just
No,
as to link
I
Salman
only
Khurshid's
meant-
statement to
I
Mrs.
only
Gandhi is wrong. Facts are, terror was less when Congress was there. Facts are, BJP took terrorists in a business class plane and left them at Kandahar. Fact was, Prime Minister Modi was doing a press conference when INSG was fighting terrorists. Fact was,
Tehseen, you are
these are
mocking-
facts of the BJP.
Let me
The
tell you,
Congress has
viewers,
martyred.
I will now bring in Sushil Pandit, and he's going to tell you a little bit about the Congress's record about prosecuting, not persecuting, viewers, prosecuting those who they think are dispensable vote bank. Now, Sushil Pandit, the Congress party had governments in Kashmir and at the center. Did you get justice, and why didn't you get justice? Since it is the most nationalist and patriotic party, why is someone like you, who's a Kashmiri Hindu, today not getting justice?
Rahul, I would like to say that this is not unique to just Congress, because since 1990, it's been 32 years and we have seen all the colors and all the hues and all the coalitions and all the parties and all the prime ministers. So everyone has had an ample time. What may have started with Congress has continued like a national consensus, like a consensus among the entire political class, including the Supreme Court, including the bureaucracy. And I dare say that for much part of these 32 years, even mainstream media never raised this issue. All the sundry NGOs, human rights organizations, busybodies who are busy fighting for human rights, none of them.
And let me
seems
say,
to be-
Sushil ji, when I raised this issue for the first time in another channel, I was branded
Yes,
an
I know.
Islamophobe. You were there.
Yes.
Absolutely.
We started this at a national level.
I remember
And what
that.
were we called? Dr.
I
Ranganathan, you will
remember.
remember. You will remember.
This is why I say.
You were
No,
called Islamophobe, you were branded a Sanghi.
That's right.
I
They still
vouch
call me
for it.
RSS, you see.
They still call
I
you
vouch
RSS.
for it
That's right.
because I used to be with you in that channel very often on
Well,
these
thank you for
issues.
saying
You
so.
need to stand up. It is your
I vouch
duty
for
to
it,
stand
which
up
is
for
why I
Kashmiri
say
pundits.
much of the mainstream media. Now the point is, where does this national consensus come from? We have a Congress which is unabashedly pro-terror, which is a new version of Muslim League, and we have other
object.
parties who are aspiring to be Congress, who are aspiring to get into that space in order to get whole-scale vote banks. Whether they meet their aspirations or not sometime in future, good luck to them. But the point is, they use similar tactics.
I'm sorry, I object to what
They
Mr.
do not
Pandit says. I have a lot of respect.
unequivocal
To call
stand.
the Congress terrorist sympathizers is plain wrong, is bordering on defamatory. This is the party that has given up its top leaders, safeguard the sovereignty of this country.
I heard it
is
quietly.
Rajiv
I heard
Gandhi
it
who cleared out
quietly.
parliament so that the army could come in Kashmir. I am sorry. I will not allow that.
Let him respond to you.
I risk.
Let Mr. Pandit. Let Mr. Pandit respond.
I don't want to be interrupted.
I agree, sir. But
I would
let him respond.
make defamatory
How many
statements.
cases did Congress pursue against terror in Kashmir? How many terrorists were convicted by Congress governments?
Sir,
I want to know
22
how
years,
many
14 years
terrorists
has
did
been
Congress
BJP.
governments convict in Kashmir?
Sir, in 22 years, 14 years has been BJP. Why
I
don't you
did
use the
not
same
mince
adjectives
my
for the
words
BJP?
I did not mince my words about BJP.
But you said that
when I
Congress
talk
is a
about
terror
Congress,
sympathizer.
I
You
want
never
to-
said the
I want
BJP
to
is, and
speak
rightly
answer
so.
for
Neither is the Congress, neither is
You
the
are
BJP.
defending
Then why do
Congress.
you use adjectives for one
This
political
is the
party?
problem, Rahul.
Viewers, just
This
look at
is
your
the
screens
problem.
right now.
We
This
do
is
not
Yassin
have
Malik.
an unequivocal condemnation
Mr.
of
Pandit.
jihadi terror.
Mr. Pandit,
Be
can I ask you a
Congress or
question?
others.
Can I ask you a
We only
question?
have,
Mr.
we
Pandit,
only have
can you see the
moral
screen?
equivalences being hunted.
Okay,
and
Mr. Pandit,
invented while you
Mr. Pandit,
condemn.
Mr. Pandit, can you see the screen? Can you see it? Look what is happening
Yes.
on the screen. There is a photograph
Absolutely.
of Dr.
Absolutely.
Manmohan Singh shaking hands with Yassin Malik. What does Yassin Malik represent to people like you?
He is soaked in our blood from top to bottom. He is the instigator of our pogrom, our genocide in Kashmir. He is the first one to take to guns and start killing people. This man today has not been convicted despite 32 years. And Congress has ruled most of the time during this period.
Vajpayee ji with Yassin Malik. Vajpayee ji with Yassin Malik. With humility. Isko pan karo idhar, please. Pan karo.
But does that...
No, it doesn't.
I'm saying...
No, it doesn't.
that-
14 years BJP. Here is Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji
Does
with
that
Yassin
absolve
Malik.
you?
Pan karo.
Does that absolve you?
It doesn't.
Is that your defense?
I am not. I am
Viewers,
telling
two
you.
wrongs
I
don't
am
make a
saying
right.
There is
religion
a
out of
national
politics.
consensus.
You see, it's very easy to say this. If that is the case,
I'll give facts.
if that is
I'll
the
give
case.
facts.
Part of that
Okay,
consensus.
fact check coming. Dr. Ranganathan, yes, very quickly before I bring in.
Bring that photo
Yes,
also.
Yeah.
with due respect to Tehseen, let me qualify my applause for him a second ago, because yes, I applauded him when he castigated Mr. Shivakumar.
I still
But
do.
as is the norm, unfortunate norm, he is protecting the Gandhis and the dynasty. Let me give you facts. Is it not a fact that the air chief said we would have bombed Pakistan and the terror hideouts in the wake of 26/11, but we were forbidden to do so by Manmohan Singh? And number two, Tehseen, with due respect, howsoever much you'd like to say, Ms. Sonia Gandhi, it's been 14 years since she quote unquote cried tears of sorrow at the face of, in the wake of Batlao's encounter. 14 years.
I'd
Could
like
she
to
not have
respond
come
to
out and clarified?
She has.
Why she?
Dr.
Has she
Ranganathan,
ever clarified
you're a
that
man
she
of
did not
science.
cry?
Please allow me to clarify.
Has she ever? Yes
Please
or
allow
no?
me to clarify.
Has she ever
I heard your
clarified?
point. Janardhan Dwivedi, the Congress chief, said Salman
No,
Khurshid was
Sonia
wrong.
Gandhi.
It's in the Times of
Sonia
India.
What do you mean wrong?
Are she said it's
Did
wrong. She
Sonia
wrote a
Gandhi
letter to
ever
his
say she
widow,
ever cried?
to the martyr's
It's
widow,
been
saying,
14
"I will
years.
avenge your
She has given
husband. The
umpteen
government will
interviews.
avenge your husband's death."
But did she deny that she was crying?
Yes,
Did she
Janardhan
ever deny
Dwivedi
she was
has
right?
on record. You may
Where?
fact check.
I know Janardhan Dwivedi has. Where is
After the
he?
votes were
AICC
cast.
chief.
Where is he? Where is he?
After the
Where is
votes
she?
were
Where
cast.
is she? Where is she
Sir?
coming out very clearly? Why does she need a spokesperson?
Sir, Salman Khurshid
Serious
spoke on her
allegations.
behalf,
No,
and it's been
where
denied.
is she?
She's written
Where
a
is
physical
One second,
letter to the widow
Has she
of
come
the
out and
martyr.
said? Has she come out and
You
said?
should take an interview.
Has she
If
come
I
out
say-
and
Official condemnation
If
of
I-
statement
no,
of DK
no,
Shivakumar. Will there, you
Rahul,
are
one
courageous
second.
enough to stand up.
Rahul, one
But will
second.
there be an official
No.
condemnation
No,
of
no.
DK Shivakumar's statements? Congress
No,
is a party.
Rahul, one
Will they
second.
condemn it?
No, Rahul, now let me really call, because I've really got Tehseen now by the scruff. Now, Tehseen, if tomorrow I accuse you that you are soft on terror, you cried tears of sorrow in the wake of a Batlao's encounter, you are on television, millions of people interview you, hear you. Would you not come out and clarify rather than hide behind the back of someone, one other spoke? You would say, no, I said it or I didn't say it. For 14 years, Sonia Gandhi has never
Can I please
clarified
answer
or
that?
denied this.
Mrs. Gandhi wrote a letter. The highest gallantry award was given by her government. The president, the prime minister, chief,
this is why
and the chief
your
minister and home minister were there at the
castigation of
funeral.
Shivakumar doesn't
Mrs.
mean
Gandhi
anything.
wrote a physical letter. The letter is in public domain. Her party denied the statement.
Okay.
Salman Khurshid was pulled up. But you are blaming Mrs. Gandhi for a fictitious statement, not for the real letter she wrote to the widow of a martyr.
That letter, when was that letter written?
I'll give you the date.
No, just give me the date.
I'll give you the date. Sorry, I'll give you the date.
I'll tell you when that letter was written, viewers. That letter was written when it became inexorably true that the courts were going to give a clean chit to the police.
Correct.
Please. That is when this sudden about face took place. Anyhow, viewers, look, the fact of the matter is that what we are seeing from Kashmir to Karnataka is a naked appeasement. And the Congress today cannot leap out and say, oh, the BJP does it. Well, if the BJP does it, it's wrong. And we've called it out several times right here. That can't be a defense, viewers. You've got to accept that you're playing a dangerous, insidious game. You're creating a sense of victimhood. You are alienating deliberately a community from the mainstream by suggesting that they are being targeted. And that will have a massive consequence. Massive consequence, mark my words, viewers. When you victimized the majority community constantly, you had a backlash. And if you do it with the minorities, you keep constantly instilling fear in them, something is going to give. Viewers, and we are seeing it all around us globally, and I want to move on very quickly to the next episode. It's very unfortunate, but the beautiful game, as it is called. You know what football is called, viewers? By Richard Kapuscinski at one time. It was called socialism without the politics. It's the greatest leveler. Pretty much every child kicks a football or a ball. The beautiful game has been cinched by a revolting display of parochialism. Of course, this isn't the first time that fans have gone on a rampage, have gone berserk after their side has lost. But there's no doubt that disappointment alone wasn't responsible for the violence that broke out after Morocco's dream run at the Football World Cup was terminated by a clinical French side that was much more talented. They've, after all, got the pedigree, they've won the World Cup. It was a very valiant effort by the Moroccans. It was a story of underdogs. And who doesn't want to cheer on the underdog? But more on that in just a bit, viewers. First, the facts. France and Belgium, which have substantial Moroccan migrant populations or just migrant populations, were rocked by violent riots. Shocking visuals of Moroccan fans resorting to vandalism, arson, burning posters and attacking police with firecrackers have gone viral. Just watch some of these scenes. Hear what is being said. Listen to this. Brussels, Montpellier, you name it. Mayhem, ugly hate over a beautiful game. Unfortunately, and this is where it's really sad, it's not just about the game of football. There was an attempt to turn the match into a clash of civilizations. Religion was quickly linked to the semi-final match. The loss was portrayed as a win for 2 billion Muslims globally, a kind of latter-day crusade. In fact, players from the Moroccan team went live on social media after they qualified for the semi-finals, appealing to people across the globe to come join us in Islam. Listen to this.
Alhamdulillah, we reached the quarterfinals of the World Cup. Since Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala خلق المغاربة, never happened. And subhanallah, we just working always. In Allahu Akbar, Allahumma salli, and we destroy everyone.
Bro, you know that when we said the Fatiha, bro, before the penalty, was the best feeling in my whole life.
Tell all this not Muslims, join us, join the Islam,
Come to the good side, come to the good side.
Come.
Come to the peace, come to the win.
We reached the quarterfinals of the World Cup. Join the Islam,
Come to the good side.
Let me bring in Majid Hydari and Dr. Ranganathan on this. Majid Hydari, thank you for being so patient tonight. And I want to ask you, Khalid Beydoun, a very popular author, has said Morocco is a Muslim nation. This is a victory of 2 billion Muslims globally. Do you also see this as such? Do you agree with what Khalid Beydoun said?
Well, Rahul sir, firstly, let me tell you the world is changing fast and acceptance to Islam is coming fast. We have seen the same World Cup starting with the recitation of Holy Quran and then it being played and celebrated in the Daru Mukht version, which is for the first time ever happening in the world. And let me tell you, football hooliganism is the part of Western culture. And let me quote you some instances. Liverpool versus Juventus 1985, 39 people killed in Brussels. Sardinia versus Palermo. In 2007, 40-year-old policeman killed. There are many violence has taken place because of football hooliganism. It's much like we have in our country VHP and Bajrang Dal going on. We have elsewhere football gangs working all the time. So it has nothing to do with Islam as being a religion which preaches hatred. It is about their own this culture of hooliganism after football. And thanks that Qatar did not witness anything of this sort because we had an Islamic government in place and there was no daru allowed, no violence allowed. And thus we show to the world that Islam is actually all about peace. So let's not mess up terrorism or hatred towards other communities with Islam. This has been proven by the World Cup as it was played and inaugurated before the world community. And today we are seeing hordes of people coming and embracing Islam, and no other religion says that dharam khatre mein hai. Christians don't say dharam khatre mein hai. The Jews don't say dharam khatre mein hai. But if such a thing happens in our country, dharam khatre mein hai, dharam khatre mein pad jata hai. So please change the mindset. The world is changing fast and the world is accepting Islam fast. So the better you start it fast, the better it will be for our country. Thank you, Anand bhai. This was all for you. Now you come to your point. Thank you.
Okay, well, Dr. Ranganathan, you're being goaded into the debate. I won't ask you the question. I'll just ask you for your point of view.
No, there are two things. Number one, I really applaud Majid Bhai because, he is not one of those hypocrites. He is absolutely clear. He follows the fundamentals and the fundamentals straight. And he let it slip, by the way, inadvertently, that we have showcased Islam. We as in, is he a Qatari or is he an Indian? But he said the truth because he actually believes in the Ummah. He is not Indian. Above him being an Indian, first of all, I don't even know whether he thinks himself as an Indian or a Kashmiri, but above and beyond that, he is a Muslim. We have to accept it and I respect that. You see, whichever domain one may belong to, first and foremost, you can be a footballer, a scientist, or a politician, or a bureaucrat. You are a soldier for Islam. Please remember that. Now, that is a fact. Now, you are talking about hooliganism, Majid Bhai. Now, you can't even say that those who are indulging in those acts of vandalism were drinking because drinking is forbidden in Islam. So, why were they rioting? Was religion a part of that? As Rahul said, they brought in crusades, they brought in, they took it as a personal insult. But let me also tell you, Majid Bhai, in other fields, for example, in cricket, you've seen commentators gloating. वकार यूनिस सेइंग कि मजा आ गया जब उसने पाकिस्तानी ने 1 लाख हिंदूज के सामने नमाज पढ़ी फील्ड पे कुफर टूट गया. These are expressions of subjugating one religion over another.
Not mix it with religion, please. Don't drag religion to everything.
But you just did so.
What are you talking about? Rahul just showed you the clip.
Majid साहब, आपने तो अभी लिंक किया है.
Footballer saying,
you yourself is saying.
You are saying. You yourself are, what do you mean don't bring in religion? Did I bring in religion?
I am saying because football hooliganism is a culture, it's a part of
No, but I asked you the question. I said Khalid Beydoun Saab, who's a very noted author, and you know this. You're a very learned person, you're a journalist, and I know that you're very well up to your reading. He said this is a victory of 2 billion Muslims globally. Why is he ascribing this to religion? What is this got to? I mean, what does this mean?
This is what Majid Bhai also said. We have showcased Islam.
This is a kind
what did he mean by we?
Because this time World Cup started with the recitation of Holy Quran and Islam.
Majid Bhai, what did you mean by we?
Right perspective. in the perspective of being the religion of peace, and that is what was shown through Qatar, the football game.
Sir, when the World Cup is played in England or in Italy, it is not linked with religion. You don't say that this, because it is being hosted in Italy, it's a victory of, X billion Catholics.
Sir, we are trying to come out of Islamophobia. Very simple, sir. We are trying to come out of Islamophobia.
What is a match got to do with Islamophobia, sir? So you are saying that the rioters are rioting against Islamophobia?
Sir, we have worthy panelist Islamophobic sitting on the panel. He has even blocked me on the Twitter for that matter. So we know the kind of Islamophobia we have.
I am Islamophobic.
Let's try to understand.
Actually, in reality, Majid bhai, you are Islamophobic because you fear Islam and bring out the real commandments of Islam. आपको इस्लाम से डर लगता है, मुझे डर नहीं लगता.
My brother, I only speak of Shanti. मैं अमन और शांति की बात करता हूँ. Islam is the religion of Shanti and Islam is Sanatan Dharma for that matter. I want to tell you this. Islam is the religion of Shanti. Please come to this side and try to learn what we preach.
वो देखिए,
we are not about
Moroccan footballer कह रहे हैं join Islam और आप कह रहे हैं don't bring religion into it.
आप मेरे
Moroccan footballer is saying convert.
आप मुझे गाली
Moroccan footballer is saying convert.
My brother, I always say, Anand bhai, you are my brother. You can abuse me. You can say you are jihadist.
Okay, well, let me tell you, viewers, there is, unfortunately, there is a reality on our screens. Now, you can ascribe a communal motive to it, or you may choose not to. I am not seeing anyone come out and condemn this. A match was almost turned into a crusade, not by me, viewers, but those learned people who call this in religious terms, characterize this in religious terms as a victory for a particular community. Robert Carter, top journalist, says, final act of humility and class, Morocco's team prostrates to Allah. Why are we homing in the description of all of this on religious iconography? Does anyone say when Neymar or somebody does the sign of the cross that, final act of humility and class, Neymar has done the sign of the cross after scoring a goal? No, viewers, they don't say it. There's a reason this is being said. Morocco has won the hearts of the Ummah. No, they have won the hearts of the larger committee of humans by transcending great odds. This Moroccan team is an exemplar, viewers, of a bunch of players overcoming adversity. Those should have been the parameters. Not all of these. Not what Majid Hydari says that, you are all going to become part of the... Yes, doctor, very quickly.
There is a difference. I see the Moroccan footballers as footballers. Majid Hydari Saab sees them as Muslims. That's the difference.
Okay, well, viewers, look, I'm going to wrap this up. We're going to leave you feeling a little upbeat. India has tested the Agni 5 missile, which means now, viewers, and this is yet another successful test of the Agni 5 missile, one of the latest ones, that we can now strike at the heart of China, right up to Shanghai. That's the visual evidence. Let no one say that we lack preparedness. I leave it at this, viewers, tonight.
आज हम यहाँ पे लेके आए हैं एक बहुत ही अनोखा डिवाइस, द न्यू ओप्पो रेनो 8 प्रो हाउस ऑफ द ड्रैगन्स एडिशन। एंड चलिए इसे अनबॉक्स करते हैं। डब्बा तो काफी बड़ा दिया है इन्होंने। आपको गाइस दिख रहा होगा, ये है आपका ड्रैगन के स्केल्स जैसा पैटर्न दिया हुआ है यहाँ पे। मैंने इसके आधे पैकेजिंग फाड़ दी ऑलरेडी। ये रहा आपका रेनोवेट प्रो हाउस ऑफ द ड्रैगन्स एडिशन। चलिए तो इसे अनबॉक्स करते हैं। बॉक्स का जैसा आप देख सकते हैं यहाँ पे हाउस ऑफ ड्रैगन्स का इंसिग्निया दिया हुआ है, यहाँ पे हाउस ऑफ द ड्रैगन्स ओप्पो लिखा हुआ है एंड पीछे HBO का लोगो, ऑफिशियल मर्चेंडाइज। ये 12-256 वेरिएंट है। सो चलिए इसे ओपन करते हैं। ओके, सो ये ओपन होता है एक स्क्रोल के साथ। ये रहा आपका स्क्रोल। हाँ, तो इसमें आपका पूरा लिखा हुआ है गॉड्स, किंग्स, फायर एंड ब्लड, ड्रीम्स डिडंट मेक अस किंग्स, ड्रैगन्स डिड। सो ये है आपका स्क्रोल। अच्छा, तो इसमें एक नीचे ये दिया हो गया है। सो अब निकलेगा मेन। सो इसमें स्टार्टिंग ऑफ, अच्छा ये है आपका एक सिम इजेक्टेड टूल ड्रैगन के शेप में। ये आपका एक कीचेन है। सो बेसिकली इस लिमिटेड एडिशन को आपको इंडिया में अभी लॉन्च हुआ है। सो ये है आपका एक कीचेन ड्रैगन के इंसिग्निया के साथ, हाउस ऑफ ड्रैगन्स। ये है आपका एक फोन कवर के लिए। बिल्ड क्वालिटी काफी अच्छा है। ये मेटल का है और यहाँ पे जैसे देख सकते हैं टेप लगा है। सो काफी अच्छी बिल्ड क्वालिटी है इस चीज का। ऑफ कोर्स इट्स अ लिमिटेड एडिशन, व्हाट डू यू एक्सपेक्ट। एंड ये है सबसे मेन। सो ये रहा आपका ड्रैगन एग। अब जाते हैं मेन फोन पे। सब कुछ आ गया। ये है आपका कवर। इसमें जैसा आप देख सकते हैं TM, ट्रेडमार्क, HBO वगैरह सब ऑफिशियल मर्चेंडाइज के जो भी राइटिंग्स होता है। एंड अब ये रहा आपका फोन। सो ये बेसिक बॉक्स, फुल्ली ब्लैक बॉक्स विथ जस्ट हाउस ऑफ ड्रैगन्स ओप्पो लिखा हुआ है इस पे एंड प्रैक्टिकली नथिंग एल्स ऑन द बॉक्स। सो इसकी होगी अब अलग अनबॉक्सिंग। ये रहा आपका ऑफिशियल एप्पो रेनोवेट प्रो जो आपका पहले लॉन्च हुआ था। ये वही बॉक्स पैकेजिंग है। इसको भी अनबॉक्स कर लेते हैं। सो बेसिकली इस मॉडल के साथ आपको दो कवर्स आएंगे। एक स्टैंडर्ड ट्रांसपेरेंट केस कवर जो बॉक्स में आता है एंड अनदर कवर विद द ड्रैगन इंसिग्निया। ये रहा आपका फोन। बिल्ड क्वालिटी
on the show tonight, viewers.
In a massive development, India has test-fired Agni-5 intercontinental ballistic missile in Odisha. This comes in the backdrop of Tawang clashes. After Pakistan raised Kashmir issue at the UN, Foreign Minister S. Shivshankar said that Islamabad has no right to sermonize after sheltering Osama bin Laden and sponsoring cross-border terrorism.
आजकल कार्स में इतनी ज्यादा हाई टेक्नोलॉजी आ गई है जिसके बारे में बात किए बिना नहीं रहा जा सकता, और इसी वजह से आज इस मर्सिडीज EQS जो 580 4MATIC है उसे हम लेकर आए हैं। इसका रिव्यू, इसकी ड्राइव परफॉर्मेंस तो आप जान चुके हैं, लेकिन इससे कुछ एक कूल फीचर्स ऐसे हैं जिनको मैं खुद से एक्सपीरियंस करना चाह रहा था। इसमें ड्राइव नहीं किया था और इनके जो फीचर्स हैं वो एक्चुअली माइंड ब्लोइंग नजर आएंगे। तो ऐसे ही कुछ एक खास फीचर्स के बारे में आज मैं इस स्टोरी में आपको बताने वाला हूं। सबसे पहली चीज जो मुझे कूलनेस के हिसाब से भी और रोड सेफ्टी के हिसाब से भी बहुत ही अच्छी लगी वो है इसके एडेप्टिव जो हेडलैम्प्स हैं। और ये हेडलैम्प्स दरअसल काम ये करते हैं कि जब आप ऑटो मोड में इसे चलाएं तो फिर लो बीम, हाई बीम में आपको शिफ्ट करने की जरूरत नहीं है। ऑटो मोड में आप चलाएं और कार जो है वो इंटेलिजेंट है और जो हेडलैम्प्स हैं वो अडेप्टिव हैं, तो आने वाले जो ट्रैफिक है, आने वाली कार्स हैं, ड्राइवर्स हैं, उन्हें ये ब्लाइंड नहीं करती है। लाइट्स अपने आप एडजस्ट हो जाती है और जब सामने कुछ नहीं रहता है तो सड़क बहुत दूर तक, बहुत आगे तक आपको रोशन मिलती है, लाइट्स काफी दूर तक जाते हैं। तो ये बहुत ही स्मार्ट आपको इसके हेडलैम्प का पूरा सेटअप लगेगा। कूलनेस की बात करें तो एक अलग लेवल है, क्योंकि जब इसे आप ऑन करते हैं जो लाइट्स जिस तरह से सीक्वेंशली जगमगाती हैं वो बहुत ही कूल लगता है। और उसके बाद आपको याद आता है कि हाँ, आपने अगर 1.5 करोड़ रुपए दिए हैं, जो कि एक शोरूम प्राइस है, वो अगर दिए किसी कार के लिए, तो फिर एक और फीचर है जिसके बारे में आप अपने दोस्तों के साथ पार्टी में डिस्कस कर सकते हैं। एक और कूल फीचर जो बाहर से ही आपको देखने को मिलेगा, और वो आपको शायद याद होगा जब हमने जो AMG की थी, EQS का AMG वर्जन, उसमें भी था और वो भी काफी कूल लगा था। इसमें भी आपको वो कूल लगेगा। बस उंगलियां स्लाइड कीजिए यहाँ पर, जैसे कि हम सभी को आदत है, अपने अपने स्मार्टफोन के ऊपर हम स्लाइड करते रहते हैं, और ये कार जो है वो खुल जाती है। आप इसे इस दरवाजे को खोलिए और फिर इसे आप टच कीजिए और ये बंद भी हो जाती है। थैंकफुली अभी चाबी मैंने अपने पॉकेट में रखी हुई है, क्योंकि टेक्नोलॉजी ऐसी है जिसने पहली बार मुझे थोड़ा सा नर्वस किया था कि ये खोलूं तो खोलूं कैसे। मैं दबा रहा था बार बार और दब नहीं रही थी, और इसे जब स्लाइड किया तब ये कार खुली। तो ये एक बहुत ही कूल फीचर मुझे नजर आया। जब बाहर ही हैं तो एक और फीचर के बारे में आपको बताता हूं, और वो है इस लग्जरी कार में, लग्जरी इलेक्ट्रिक कार में ढेर सारा जो लग स्पेस है। लुक एट दिस। यहाँ पर इस तरह के रिव्यूज में आमतौर पर हम कहते हैं आपकी सारी गोल्फ किट इसमें अट सकती है, और यहाँ पे मैं देख के सबसे पहले वही कह सकता हूँ, क्योंकि लगेज के लिए तो जगह काफी है ही। अगर आप गोल्फ के भी शौकीन हैं, वहां पे भी 2-3 लोगों की गोल्फ किट तो यहाँ पर आ सकते हैं। वैसे इस पिलो को देखकर ये मत समझिए कि यहाँ पर सोने की जगह मिलेगी, नहीं। दिस इज लाइक I don't know what's.
Good evening and welcome to the news hour. I'm Gopal Krishnan. Ladies and gentlemen, time and again attempts have been made by some to shield those who continue to hurt Bharat. From Karnataka to Kashmir, the story is no different. Now, the lobby wouldn't even blink an eye before questioning our own men in uniform. Today, Karnataka Congress leader D.K. Shivkumar has alleged that the cooker blast in an auto rickshaw in Mangaluru last month might have been a mistake. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the National Investigation Agency is probing the Mangaluru blast, and Karnataka DGP Praveen Sood has already confirmed the blast was an act of terror. However, D.K. Shivkumar believes that this was a mistake. Not just this, he's even asked that how could the agencies call the passenger carrying the cooker bomb a terrorist without a probe. The accused in this case, Sharik, is suspected to have links with the Islamic State, but the Congress leader continues to argue that the bomb blast might have been projected in a different light. Listen in.
You tell me, you said there is a big terrorist. Who are the terrorists? Please let me know. What action you have taken? Who has declared? Who was the DG to declare himself that is a terrorist? Or Pulwama or anything? Nothing is there. Some fellow might have done some mistake, we don't tell. But how we are trying to project it?
Why do you think the government was doing that?
Why? Because the vote gate, they wanted to steal the votes in the history of Indian politics.
Now, D.K. Shivkumar, ladies and gentlemen, is a senior leader of the Congress party. He heads the Karnataka unit of the party, but his controversial statements have in the past often made headlines. This time, D.K. Shivkumar appears to have crossed the line. However, he's also issued a clarification. Listen in.
Well, the
BJP is behind it, sir?
Yes, see, they just tried to blow it. They should have done an investigation, fair investigation. Let them do it, let them act, let them punish, let them hang whomever they want. When things of the entire vote system was being under theft, they just tried to deviate. There was no need of the DG or the police reacting to it. There is a system.
The BJP says that D.K. Shivkumar has a habit of making loose and irresponsible statements and that he must apologize.
ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿ.ಕೆ. ಶಿವಕುಮಾರ್ ಇದೊಂಥರ ಸಿಲ್ಲಿ ಬ್ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಒಂಥರ
ಅವರು ಅದ್ರವಾಗಿ ಮಾತಾಡೋದು ಅವ್ರ ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾನೇನು ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್
What more they can appease? Every day they appease the minority or one or the other section of the vote, but still they are unable to get the votes. But at least he should have some concern about the people of Karnataka who have made him MLA and minister several times in the past. Have some gratitude, Mr. DK Shivakumar.
The matter and the probe has been transferred to the NIA. The NIA is investigating the matter. Even before a clean check can be given by the agencies, why is the Congress party so eager to give Islamist terror a clean check? Why is the Congress party having such double standards, and why is the Congress party soft on terror is the question that needs to be asked.
Now, viewers, this terror appeasement isn't limited just to Karnataka. Let's now make you listen in to what has been stated by PDP Chief Mehbooba Mufti after the Pulwama administration ran a bulldozer over the house of wanted terrorist Muhammad Ashik Negru. In fact, this is on encroached land that he had built his house. However, when asked questions, Mufti said, "बहुत हो गया."
जो मिलिटेंट्स के खिलाफ जो एक्शन हो रहा है,
बहुत हो गया, इसको वही वो ड्रग यूज ज्यादा करना है।
जो मिलिटेंट्स के खिलाफ जो एक्शन हो रहा है,
बहुत हो गया, इसको वही वो ड्रग यूज ज्यादा करना है।
That brings us to the legitimate question that we are asking this evening. Are we politicizing terror at India's cost?
You're watching the News Hour at 9. Debate number 1 on Times Now. Super Prime Time.
Taking it across to our guest joining us, we have with us Rakesh Sinha, who's the Rajya Sabha Member of Parliament. With us also is Ratan Sharda, author. Arsan Singh is an author as well. Joining us on the broadcast, we have with us Dr. Suman C. Raman, political analyst. Kamru Zaman Chaudhary is the leader of the Congress Party. Sanjay Jha, author, is also with us. We also have Majid Haidari, political analyst, joining us. Let me start with you, Dr. Suman C. Raman. Let me ask you this. You know, there is an incident that has taken place in Mangaluru. There are recoveries that have been made. All of this is a matter of public record. The individual concerned, as you very well know, traveled to different states and different jurisdictions from Kerala to Tamil Nadu. All of that is a matter of public record. Now, if the DGP of the state, who's a responsible officer, we're not talking about some junior officer here, if he says that he believes there is a terror link to it, at face value at least, shouldn't that statement be taken? Of course, an investigation is required. Of course, due process of law is required. But to come out and say that an act of terror is something that is being politicized, isn't that really a disservice at the end of the day?
Madhav, I think you have to look at the statement in the context of what has been happening over the last several years. As you know only too well, there have been a large number of people who have been picked up on terrorism charges, kept in jail for several years, who have then been acquitted by the courts. Now, I don't have to go into the list is long. The point is that the courts are the ones who decide whether somebody has indulged in an act of terrorism or not. The role of the police is to, whether it is the NIA or whether it is the state police, is to fundamentally carry out an investigation, ascertain the facts, file a charge sheet and bring the person to trial. And unfortunately, we have this tendency where, particularly where some communities are involved, we are very eager to jump in and call people terrorists. And much before the
Suman C. Raman, let me stop you right there. This has not got anything to do with community. Please, just 1 second. If by your logic, sir, by your logic, please, we are all reasonable people here. By your logic, when 26/11 happened, Ajmal Kasab is caught alive and we should have waited for the trial to be completed to call him a terrorist. What kind of logic are we talking here, sir? Here is a person who has been caught. He's been caught red-handed. There is prima facie evidence. Nobody is saying that you're short-circuiting the court process, but an accused is an accused, and a terror accused should be at least above politics.
No, Madhav, I just fail to understand your argument at all. Now, if, as you say, the facts speak for themselves, based on what the police say. Now, for instance, the police have said this man has travelled from one state to another, he has been here, he has been there, and so on. Now, that is information that the police have got on the basis of the investigation they have carried out so far. Now, did he go to these places to do reconnaissance for terror acts? We don't know. We don't know what the facts of the case are. What we know is that a cooker bomb did explode, and in Mangalore. Now, beyond that, we need the NIA to piece together the investigation.
Well,
and I
just
don't
for the
see
record,
what the necessity is.
Just for the record, let me just read out. Let me just read out what the DGP of the state has said. You know, because you have put in certain questions Fine, you do not believe the police. It's your prerogative. Nobody can force anybody to believe anyone. It's a democracy. But I'm just reading out. I'm going to allow the viewers to make up the mind before I go across to the next spokesperson, because I want to just read out. I want to read out specifically what has been stated by the state DGP, Mr. Praveen Sood. He said that a burnt pressure cooker with batteries were recovered from the site. The blast is not accidental, but an act of terror, a plan to target some. It was a low-intensity bomb with an intention to cause serious damage. There was an attempt to disrupt communal harmony and an attempt to bring out a divide among different religions. If this is stated by the topmost police officer of a state, then certainly at some level many would ask, why is it that a senior leader at that, a senior opposition leader of a big national political party is not taking that at face value? Maybe he has reasons, but I want to bring in Rakesh Sinha, Member of Parliament and BJP spokesperson, to respond to you on that. Suman Siraman has several questions. He is saying, Mr. Sinha, that whatever has been stated by the police, let them prove it in a court of law. How can we assume that he is a terrorist?
That I am not saying it. That is the process. I am not saying it.
Sure, you just said it, but that's fine. That's fine. That's fine, sir. Listen to the response now.
No, it's not what. It's not my opinion. That's the law.
It is very unfortunate that people like. Now, should I speak?
Please go ahead. Please go ahead, Mr.
It is very unfortunate that intellectuals are defending something indefensible. Have you heard such debates in America? Have you heard such debates in United Kingdom? No, not at all. There is debate on internal security, but people are not divided and fractured on the question of the safety of the people and the integrity of the country. It is not the question of one single exceptional statement of Congress leader in Karnataka. I am connecting with the statement of Sonia Gandhi when there was a Batla House incident. She wept for whom? Not for the martyr, Mr. Mohanchand Sharma. She wept for the terrorists. Just I am connecting with Mr. Digvijay Singh, a senior Congress leader, now Rajya Sabha member. That time he was a general secretary of the party. He connected the 26/9 blast, the incident which struck the nation, with the 26. There was a 26/11. There was a book release of Aziz Barni, was the editor of the then Rashtriya Sahara Urdu edition, and he released the book. He endorsed a leader of a ruling party endorsing that 26/11 was not the handiwork of Pakistan, but it is an internal problem. Now you come to the Karnataka things. When the Congress people say that nothing happened, they drop these charges, police is doing excesses, when you communalize and politicize the internal security, you are breaching your limit. We all have limits. We may be parliamentarians, we may be public figures, but there is a limit for breaching our limitations. What they are doing? They are questioning the police, they are questioning the NIA, they are questioning the ATS. This means when you start questioning, you are doing the trial by politicians in the public. You are creating a confusion. You are giving dignity to such people, legitimizing the criminals. And by connecting with the communal issues, what Suman is doing here, you are giving fodder to the terrorist. They find the support base in a particular community.
Okay.
A terrorist is a terrorist. Don't connect with the community.
Okay.
I'm just asking a question to the Congress people and the Suman Sharma. Have you heard that Congress people welcome the ban on Popular Democratic Front, PDF?
Okay.
Have you heard? Have you heard the left parties have welcomed the ban?
Okay.
So this is a communal politics, a group of politicians and the political parties. They are trying to communalize the internal security. And just last statement. After 2014, when Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji ensured the nation that you are 0 tolerance against the terrorism. That we have before. Before 2014, there were blasts in temples, blasts in mosques.
Okay.
Blasts in
let me come down to the simple point. You know, it all boils down to appeasement is a question that is coming here, Kamruzaman Chaudhary, because what Mr. Sinha is stating. I'm going to come to you, Mr. Raman. Please, there are others as well. Let me quickly go across to all the others on the panel. But Mr. Chaudhary's simple question is this: that ultimately it boils down to appeasement. We have seen public statements by leaders of opposition parties that show that their sympathies are not with those who have given up their life defending the country, but those who are actually terrorists. That's a statement coming in from the BJP spokesperson. Please respond to it.
Yeah, I agree 100% with our learned MP from the Bharatiya Janata Party and the RSS, that the internal security of the country has been communalized. There is no doubt about it. The entire ecosystem has been clouded. You know, the entire, the administration rather, or the entire system has been clouded in such a way that anybody is suspicious of the system right now because of the obvious bias. Madhavan, I'll just take half the time that Professor Saab has taken. Let me just show you some raw data from the NCRB, which says in the last 7 years, 10,552 Indians have been arrested under the UPA, but only 253 have been convicted till 2021. Now you say about appeasement and I say that UAPA has become a tool for majority appeasement. Now why is this?
Who brought in the UAPA amendment, sir?
Is labelled as
when was the UAPA brought in? And when was it amended?
The 2019 amendment, who brought in?
No, before that there was no UAPA in the country.
Give me the half the time that Professor Shabejan. Let me finish. Why I am saying this? A student is labelled a terrorist Kassab by his own teacher for belonging to a particular community. A religious congregation during COVID was labelled as a super spreader just because of their religious
identity. Mr. Chaudhary, I think we are spreading this debate too far. Simple question to you and to Mr. Shivakumar. Is there anything to prove that this person has been wrongly prosecuted or that he is innocent or the police has committed any excess? Is there anything to point out in this particular case or any reason to believe that this person is not a terrorist? Let's bring that to the fore. Otherwise, this debate is entirely futile. On what basis is Mr. D.K. Shivakumar making such outlandish claims?
No. This is nothing outlandish. He is just echoing the thought process what is happening in the system right now.
But thought process has to be based on facts, sir. It cannot be driven by opinion.
Vilify a particular community.
Sir, thought process cannot be in the public domain. If you are making comments, they have to be responsible. Otherwise, anyone from their thought process will start making comments which are completely unjustifiable, Mr. Chaudhary. And I want to bring in Ratan Sharda. Mr. Ratan Sharda, this is a rather bizarre argument that this is a thought process that Mr. D.K. Shivakumar is reflecting. Facts on ground may or may not actually prove this particular thought process, but he is entitled to make these comments. The simple question, sir, that I am asking over here is that what are the facts that actually merit this kind of an argument or debate? Is there anything at all? Mr. Ratan Sharda.
Well, people have a right to have minority politics, minority appeasement politics, that's fine. That's their outlook for last 70 years, I have no problem. Problem is they start using that minoritism to create a different kind of narrative about terrorism. When you compromise on the issue of national security, that is when the problem starts. It is something new. Before 2014, people who were arrested for terrorism were all Hindus. Is it so? Were the names of the terrorists like Ram, Vishnu, Lakshman, etc. before 2014? We do not know. But we do know that this particular government had messed up Malegaon blast when two parallel cases, unheard of anywhere in the world, two parallel cases, one against one bunch of Muslim accused, other against Hindu accused, cases which are not filed for 6 years, and we have that 1889 Coimbatore blast, where entire ecosystem from Congress to Communists to Muslim League, everybody supported bail for Madani, who was the chief accused for Coimbatore blast in 1989. We had, of course, you of course had this Malegaon and Ajmer blast, which was testified by Simi chief under the test that it was their work, and US provided evidence that it was Pakistan work. But we had our great people creating a Hindu terror story, and then they had the issue of Afzal Guru being wrongly hanged or maybe prematurely hanged by that time Home Minister. So when these kind of things happen, what do you tell them? That is the problem with the entire narrative of these people. If the accused has a certain name, should police stop taking the name? And before 2014, they said people are in the jail for long years. Just a moment, Mr. Chaudhary. Just a moment. Did I stop you? Did I stop you speaking? Can you let me complete?
Okay. One at a time. One at a time, gentlemen. The others who have yet not spoken. Mr. Chaudhary, please. The others yet to speak. Please, let's not interrupt. We have limited time. I will not allow this. Others have to lower faders. Please, don't make me do that. Mr. Sharda, please complete your point.
Who were the people who were let out of the jail after 6 or 8 years? it was under Congress government that these Muslim youth were arrested and they released. Either your investigation was shoddy or your investigation was wrong or it was purposefully wrong.
Okay.
I do not know. So don't try to blame the police for the political exploitation of terror for your own purposes.
All right. Mr. Sanjay Jha, there's a very interesting observation over here. Apart from the various incidences that have been cited by Rakesh Sinha, that have been cited by Ratan Sharda, there's also a simple question in this point. You know who is asking? It's not just the BJP who is asking Mr. DK Shivakumar, even the JDS is asking. What does Mr. Shivakumar have to substantiate these claims? And what is there? Nobody has been able to explain why he has these sudden doubts, apart from the timing, apart from the fact that yes, there is also something else happening in the state, and he's alleging that this is some kind of attempt to cover up. There is nothing material to suggest that what the police have done or the administration have done is wrong. Is there?
Madhav, enough has been said on the subject by many of your panelists earlier. And I think we'll have to wait for the NIA investigation to establish whether Mr. DK Shivkumar's allegations are true or otherwise. But since there is a lot of talk about institutions on this program, let me just remind you, and I'm sure many viewers will already be aware, of what Special Public Prosecutor Rohini Salian, who in an affidavit named the NIA officer, who told her that kindly go soft on the Malegaon 2008 blast case. So let me tell Mr. Sharda, Mr. Sinha, and anybody else in the next couple of minutes of the program who defend the government that today they have infiltrated the institutions to push an agenda of the Hindutva lobby. I mean, that's a fact that cannot be denied. I think we are all adults here, and let's not even try and pretend that it does not exist. Point number two, Madhav. End of day, we all know about Tejasvi Surya's apologies and the kind of allegations he made recently on Muslims, very directly on Muslims, and then he apparently apologized. Today, as Karnataka heads to the elections in a couple of months, there is huge anti-incumbency in Karnataka. Trust me, Madhav, I keep a lot in touch with people out there, and the BJP, unless the Congress does some harakiri, is almost destined to lose. Therefore, you will find coastal Karnataka, the RSS and the BJP will raise the communal temperature. It's just the way they operate.
No, but that's exactly the argument. The problem, Sanjay Jha, is that BJP is saying it is appeasement this way by the Congress party. You will say that it is the other way by the BJP. That's a political argument. The point is, when it comes to terror, is this the kind of politics that we want to see? We are a country that has, our Congress party itself has lost 2 prime ministers to terror. We have seen horrific attacks like the parliament attack, like 26/11, and yet we cannot build consensus when it comes to a crackdown on terror. Why is it that in the spirit of bipartisanship, we cannot, at least leave terror cases untouched? Why does even that have to be politicized?
Madhav, just one line, Mr. Sharda and Mr. Sinha don't even seem to have heard of a lady from Bhopal who happens to be a member of parliament, who by the way celebrates Nathuram Godse, who assassinated Mahatma Gandhi, and who by the way is a terror accused called Pragya Singh Thakur, and that she's a BJP MP. I mean, how can Mr. Sharda with a straight face kind of just bludgeon all of us with bluff? This is not the way you should have a civilized conversation.
Sure. Okay. People are you pose a simple question to Mr. Sharda. Quick response to Sharda, then I go to RSN Singh. Quick response from Mr. Sharda.
Single argument. I already made that argument for 6 years. It was NI under Congress. It was government of Congress who could not file a charge sheet. Why are you blaming others? Why you did not file charge sheet for 6 years, Mr. Jha? And you are blaming Salian or somebody? Where was your NI? Where was your all political power at that time? Respond to that. You can keep on telling that Salian said this and that. She was under you for 6 years. No charge sheet. Remember whether Pragya or whether Colonel Purohit. And you know how Colonel Purohit case is now slowly getting unraveled by the very people who are telling how he's a friend. You should be ashamed that your government brave military person.
Mr. Sharda,
he was given salary all those years by the same government, by the same army.
Okay, Mr. Sharda, you're fully aware why witnesses turn hostile. I think, Mr. Sharda, let's not try and pull wool over people's eyes.
Why you did not
there is a clear agenda of the BJP and the RSS to subvert the criminal justice system. By the way, can you answer the allegations that have appeared?
I am asking you to answer the allegations.
1 minute, Mr. Sharda. I'm asking you to explain.
Who are you to ask me?
I'm asking
I
you
asked
to
you
explain.
For 6 years, why there was no charge sheet? It was your NI, your government. You started Hindu terror story. Why there was no charge sheet?
Computers.
Why Colonel Purohit was framed? No, there is a public report. Don't ask me question. Answer. Prior to 2014, what did you do?
All right.
Did you take action against
I insist on asking
of RSS Sajesh 2611? You did not.
What
you share those people, protect those people who create long bogey of RSS terror, Hindu terror. You come here, sound very sage. You tell me all this. What did you do?
All right, gentlemen. I think we have others who have yet not spoken. Let's quickly let me just lower the faders for just a minute. There, number of hands going up, gentlemen. I'm going to come to each of you, but I want to go across to RSN Singh first. RSN Singh, the question is this: that ultimately, in our political class, and this is something that we see repeated from Karnataka to Kashmir. There are several such instances that have been referred to by other panelists. The point is that ultimately it's easiest to politicize a terror case. It's just so simple in political season, isn't it? And is it really surprising given that there are elections due in Karnataka in 5 months?
No, any jihadi terror attack takes place anywhere in India. It is not because of local grievances, right? Therefore, it is not a law and order problem. They are inspired by Ghazwa-e-Hind, they are inspired by Caliphate, and if you think this vote bank, that and let me not say other community and this, that, I don't indulge in that kind of English. I'm talking about, the Muslim community which they are targeting. And the votes they are targeting, if they think that these votes are they are getting, because the ISRO has sent a rocket in the space, or Agni 5 has been fired, or a very good road has been built, I'm sorry. You are getting you are getting those votes, majority of those votes that you are, because what you are doing for that community in pursuance of Ghazwa-e-Hind and Caliphate. Now you have this gentleman who was talking about, the communal atmosphere. Pakistan, एक बात बताइए कि जब पाकिस्तान नहीं था तब 1981 में मोपला रिबेलियन में क्या हुआ था? Wasn't that rebellion about caliphate? Even when Pakistan was not, the direct action was in Calcutta. और ये क्या? What this, untruth we are peddling? That tell me one period in this century, one decade in the last century when there was communal harmony in this country. Now you tell me, isn't this man aware that there was an organization called Karnataka Dignity Forum, which merged with Popular Front of India, and Popular Front of India came all the way to Shaheen Bagh, and it had jihadis from all over the country, including Kashmir.
Right.
And now you are questioning the investigative agencies. You asked this gentleman who, I don't know, from Congress. अच्छा, एक और बात इन्होंने बहुत अच्छी बोली, ये Nathuram Godse did something horrible. He went against the law and he was hanged. But tell me one thing. Should Nalini be hanged by the same yardstick? She blew the Prime Minister of this country into smithereens.
Respond to that, Mr. Kamruzzaman Chaudhary. Respond to that.
Take a stand today.
Respond to that, Mr. Chaudhary.
Madam, this is total fear mongering by Mr. RSN Singh, and this should not be allowed on the national television, and that too on your show. This is not fair when a particular community is vilified because of the actions of a few. Now let me cite a Yashwant Shinde.
I am not vilifying any community.
Yashwant Shinde and RSS.
सुनिए,
you tell me,
you condemn this
also claim that he was told by a senior VHP leader about
on television. You tell the entire country that you condemn the concept called Ghazwa-e-Hind.
You are a biased, hate-monging bigot in television.
Listen,
whoever you are, You are a hate
Okay,
monger on
gentlemen,
television.
gentlemen, let's I just want to come in here. I don't want to reduce this to the level of a street fight. There are some very serious issues, Mrs. Chaudhary. You do not have answers to that, or anyone. Let's not reduce it to a name-calling show, please. I don't want to do that. But before, there are very serious issues over here at hand. There is political accountability also that our politicians need to have with this kind of responsible roles. They also have to be careful about what they say. And that's precisely the reason we are having this debate. This is not for name-calling. It's not to, in any way spread any disaffection against any community or any one political party. But yes, politicians have to be responsible and accountable for the statements they're doing. And having said that, in the spirit of that, I want to ask a question of Majid Hydari. Majid Hydari, there is a terrorist. There is a terrorist whose house is demolished because it's on encroached land. What is the difficulty for Mehbooba Mufti to come out and openly condemn that? When asked a question, is it because it does not conform with our healing touch policy, the policy of going soft on terror? Why does she get so irritated? कि बहुत सवाल पूछ लिए when a question is even asked of a terrorist and of a land that has been encroached upon, even it's clearly in violation of the law of the land.
Well, Madhav, firstly, I fully agree with Honorable Member Parliament on the show who said that we need to be united on terror. And here I hope that Bulldozer Baba Maharaj grants his vardhan to the central government to let the Indian Army use bulldozers to demolish the encroachments which the Chinese have made on the LAC from Pangong to Tawang. So that is something more important for me from the terror perspective, because I look at Chinese assertions as an act of terror. It's a psychological terror for me. I feel terrorized all the times Chinese venture into my territory.
Okay, Chinese tanzims, that's a new one.
I'm not here to defend any terrorist.
You're entitled to your view, but Chinese terror is a completely new one. I've never heard of this before, but thank you so much for enlightening us.
I feel psychologically terrorized by these incursions. Now, coming to the point of terrorism, see, I am not here to defend any terrorists or terrorism or any wrong utterances of any politicians, but yes, the constitution of our country does not debar a terrorist from his property holdings. He holds the right to his
Coming to you, Mr. Singh, one second, let him make his point.
He is convicted as being a terrorist. This is law. If you want to go for an extra judicial kind of bulldozing, let you do it, but that won't be in symphony with the law, and I believe in law, so I'll stand with law and I'll condemn anything which is extra.
Even if somebody has encroached on land,
judicial.
Even if it is encroached land, you think that property should not be demolished, even if it is encroached land.
It is to be decided by honorable court of law.
Okay, legal processes are being scuttled. The terrorist is also entitled to his legal right. Mr. Harrison Singh, please respond to Majid Hydari.
No, I just asked the gentleman. I'm sure he will condemn the terrorism being perpetrated by China on Uyghur Muslims. Does he condemn it? Just ask him.
Mashallah, sir, very much. I totally agree with you on this. We need to condemn it. We need to condemn all terror, be it the one Yashwant Shinde in his petition before CBI has spoken about, or what Hemant Karkare had spoken about.
अरे भाई मैं चाइना की बात कर रहा हूँ
सर, मैंने चाइना को भी कंडेम किया, भारत को भी कंडेम किया, सब कंडेम किया।
उइगर नाम लेने में इतना डर क्यों है माजिद हैदरी? उइगर का नाम लेने में इतना डर क्यों है? आप तो सीधा हिंदू टेरर पे पहुंच जाते हैं।
His masterminds to Nalini everything, but the problem is that somewhere our law is weak that those who assassinated former Prime Minister.
Sir, you just said you're very scared of China. Why not Chinese states' acts of oppression? Why have those been forgotten? Why is it so difficult to articulate that? I think that's a fair question.
My government is doing big business with them. We have reached $100 billion business.
The other gentleman doesn't.
So you will not mention Uyghur. So you will not mention the atrocities in Uyghurs.
Chinese. These are the people I'm debating with. God save you.
No, what is the problem? I said my government is.
He does not condemn the why his gentleman sitting in the
Why is it government going?
He does not condemn the Chinese for terrorism in this thing.
Sir, why is my government not condemning that? Why is my government giving more business to Chinese? Please let me know who built that Statue of Unity. Why was that contract given to the Chinese? Why are Chinese?
You don't belong to any government except that imaginary caliphate.
All right, I just want to ask.
You have no country.
I want to bring this away. I want to bring this away.
To the Ummah, you have no country.
All right, I want to bring this away from the subject of China. We have veered way too far from this topic of discussion. But Rakesh Sinha, simple question to you. The argument coming in from the Karnataka Congress, which in fact none of our panelists really referred to, is that they say this is some kind of a diversionary tactic from a vote gate scam that has been reported from the state of Karnataka. They say just a few days after that this incident took place, and that is allegedly what DK Shivakumar Shivakumar is the reason that he says that this kind of politics is being played out in the name of terror. That's the allegation from Mr. Shivakumar and the Congress party. I want you to respond to that point, Mr. Saram.
You know one thing which nobody can disagree, that pre-2014, while going to market or temple or mosque or riding on train, we are uncertain about our life, because the terrorism has no timing fix. It is not an organized and scientific thing. It is by those people who want to create disharmony and disintegration. But post 2014, when Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji took the reins in New Delhi, we are there is certainty which it prevails, whether it is Karnataka, Assam, Jammu Kashmir, Punjab or New Delhi. Another point is that they are questioning that people are being arrested and they are kept in trial. I am asking a question. Prime Minister Modi ji was not the Prime Minister then when TADA was a law. TADA was between 1985 to 1997. During these 12 years, there are 20,000 cases registered. After that, 13,000 cases were dropped. Still there were 7,000 cases.
Okay.
Ultimately remains 784 cases.
Okay.
The number of arrests were in thousands. Was it a communal move? Was it a state bias?
Okay. I want Suman to respond to that. Suman, very quickly. We are almost out of time. I think that's a fair point. If there are laws like TADA that have been brought in by previous regimes, why is UAPA being objected to or being called a communal law? There are unlawful activities that happen in this land, and unfortunately, in certain extreme cases, we do need strong laws there.
We definitely do need strong laws against terrorism. That's a no-brainer. What that law is called is a different issue altogether. My point is, look at the conviction rates under the law. What are the conviction rates between 2016 and 2019? The overall conviction under UAPA laws were something in the region of 2.2%. Then more recently, there's a report which says that the conviction rate is now 6%.
Right.
Thousands of people are being arrested and they are being put into prison and they are being labeled, given the label of terrorists, only to be released by the courts after 1.5 years and 2 years and 3 years. Don't believe what I am saying. Go and look for the data yourself. Now, that is why I am saying, Mr. Shivakumar, if he says, let the courts decide. Right? Let the courts decide.
Nobody is taking that away from him, sir. Nobody is taking away the right of courts to decide. But the point is that in cases of terror, at least this kind of politics is avoidable, is the larger point that is being made. And that's, I think, the subject of the debate. Of course, courts have to rule. Of course, police have to file their charge sheets after investigation. There is the due process of law. But when it comes to terror and acts of terror, when our police and investigators are doing their job, I think the only point that is being made here is perhaps it would be better if politicians do not chime in and in any way try and influence the law or play politics on what should be a strictly an act of the investigating agency and the court to ultimately decide on. That's a limited point we're making. I'd like to thank all our guests for joining us. Ratan Sharda, RSN Singh, Suman C. Raman, Kamruzaman Chaudhary, Sanjay Jha and Majid Haidri. Rakesh Sinha stays with us for the next debate. Ladies and gentlemen, our other focus tonight is a tragedy that unfolded in Bihar Saran. Over 40 people died after consuming spurious liquor in Bihar Saran district. But the Chief Minister of the state today pinned the blame on victims instead of taking any responsibility for the tragedy. Newshour today said that if you drink alcohol, you will die. What an insensitive statement from a Chief Minister. At a time when families are mourning the loss of their loved ones in Saran, this statement has only added salt to the injuries. These remarks also came as his government is under heavy criticism from the opposition over the prohibition policy in the state. First, listen in to the shocker from the Chief Minister.
लेकिन फिर भी कोई पी लेता है. देखिए, ज्यादातर लोगों ने इसके पक्ष में सहमति दी है, लेकिन कुछ आदमी को क्या कीजिएगा, कुछ तो ऐसी गलती करता ही है. तब उसके बाद पिछली बार भी याद है ना, जहरीली शराब से मर गया तो कोई कहा कि इनको मिलना चाहिए कंपल्सरी के बाद. जो शराब पिएगा वो तो मरेगा ही. ये तो उदाहरण ही सामने है कि पियोगे तो मरोगे, यही तो बात है. एक बात और पूछ लीजिए, जो विपक्ष का लोग बोलता है जहरीली शराब से हम मरे, उनसे पूछिए कि आपका जहां जहां शासन है वहां कितना जहरीली शराब से मर रहा है. आप पूछ लीजिए उन से. कुछ नहीं बोलता. पहले एक एक चीज छपता था, आजकल सब जगह में जो गंदगी हो रही है वो नहीं कुछ छप रहा, लेकिन समाज में तो आप कितना भी कुछ भी काम करिएगा, कुछ न कुछ तो गड़बड़ करेगा नहीं जी। आई क्राइम को रोकने के लिए कितना पहले से कानून बना हुआ, तब भी हत्या करता है ना, तो क्या कीजिए, कुछ तो आदमी गड़बड़ करता ही है।
Even as Nitish evades responsibility, the BJP went ballistic and protested both inside and outside the Bihar Assembly against the state government. If blaming the victims wasn't enough, Nitish Kumar was even seen laughing as he entered the assembly. Sparks flew inside the assembly yesterday as the BJP raised slogans, to which an angry Nitish shouted, "Sharabi ho gaya to."
देखिए, लगभग 40 से ज़्यादा लोगों की मौत हुई है और पिछले 6 साल में 1000 से ज़्यादा लोग मर चुके हैं और करीब 4 लाख लोग जेल जा चुके हैं, 6 लाख लोग पर मुकदमा चल रहा है। ये क्या हो रहा है? पुलिस राज बन गया पूरा बिहार। ये कैसी शराबबंदी है? यानी फेल कर गई है, नीतीश जी का नियंत्रण नहीं रहा है और पूरी तरह से शराबबंदी की नीति उनकी फेल हो गई है।
Been trying to make a list, and it's last 2 days the list is going up, and I've crossed a 50 mark, and it looks it will cross 100. Please, and I'll take this matter right up to the Human Rights Commission. I'll take it against the state government. I'm going to raise this issue in Parliament again today. Visit my constituency and ask the people of Bihar: do we deserve this?
Nitish Kumar appears to be losing his cool when asked questions on this, losing his composure.
Well,
what would you say about
this? Is absolute.
Coming in from
whenever a person fails and he sees that his policy has been doing a wrong to the state, the frustration creeps him.
And there's breaking news coming in. The Supreme Court has pulled up the Punjab government over illegal liquor. The Apex Court has cited the example of the Bihar hooch tragedy. Apex Court saying that look what happened in Bihar. This is what we want to avoid. Don't dig a well when the house is on fire. The Supreme Court has asked the Punjab government to take action as far as local liquor or illegal liquor vends are concerned. Let's quickly go across to Harish for more on this. Harish, very, very important that the Apex Court has made the observations and has directed Punjab, which is a border state, the Apex Court says, to not repeat the mistakes very clearly that Bihar has made. Very quickly take us through what the court has said.
Yes, that's right, Madhav. The seriousness and gravity of what happened in Bihar is evident from the fact that a bench led by Justice Omar Shah of the Supreme Court has in fact taken suo moto notice of what happened in Bihar, where in Saran district 40 people have fallen victim to the hooch tragedy. The Supreme Court has used this incident to send across a very strong message to Punjab. Remember, the court was hearing a PIL which has sought stern steps in Punjab to deal with the rampant illicit liquor menace in the state, which has claimed several lives, especially the poor among the youth. The Justice Omar Shah told the lawyer for government of Punjab that do not dig a well when the house is already on fire.
Very important.
That stern steps will have to be taken as early as possible.
Do not dig a well when the house is on fire. I think that is the one line of that particular observation that certainly is going to make headlines in the newspapers tomorrow as well. Harish, thanks so much for joining us with that legal perspective. Let's quickly take this across to our guests who are with us. Rakesh Sinha continues to be with us. Subrata, who is the author and founder of The Churn, joins us on the broadcast. Also with us is spokesperson of the JDU, Subodh Kumar, who is the leader. In fact, Chitranjan Gagan is a spokesperson of the RJD. Let me start first and foremost with Subodh Kumar, leader of JDU. जब घर में आग लगती है तो अब आप कुआं खोदने मत जाइए, ये सुप्रीम कोर्ट का कहना है पंजाब सरकार को, और बिहार का उदाहरण साइट कर रही है। क्या बहुत लेट हो चुका है बिहार में? सुबोध कुमार जी,
देखिए, आप अभी जब बीजेपी के हमारे मित्र अभी जो सरकार की एंटी लीकर पॉलिसी है उसको क्रिटिसाइज कर रहे हैं, जब ये हमारे साथ थे तो इसको इन्होंने बहुत वेलकम किया था। They had outrightly supported the Nitish Kumar's decision to ban liquor throughout the state. अब ये क्यों इतना विरोध हो रहा है? मैं आपको एक बात कहता हूं, जिन स्टेट्स में लिकर अवेलेबल है वहां पे अभी चलते हैं, जैसे गुजरात में 2022 में ही कुछ ट्रेजेडी हुआ, और कितने इंसिडेंट्स वैसे सारे स्टेट्स में जहां लिकर मतलब लोग लेते हैं, कोई बैन नहीं है, कोई प्रोहिबिशन नहीं है, लेकिन वहां भी कुछ ट्रेजेडीज हो रही है। मैं कह रहा हूं कि ये लोगों की
सुबोध कुमार जी, with due respect, may I ask you a question? Do two wrongs make a right? 40 people dying, 30 people dying, 60 people dying. It doesn't matter which state it is, sir. These are all citizens of our country who are dying. Do we expect state governments? Simple question, Mr. Subodh Kumar. After people die, the least we expect for the state government is to show some humility. not arrogance like Nitish Kumar who says piyoge to maroge. I mean, what kind of accountability is this of a chief minister? Such a frivolous comment from a chief minister? Someone who has spent 17 years in government?
Listen, it's not like that. I mean, Nitish Kumar ji is very sensitive politician. He's very sad. And look at his reaction. When the opposition tried to humiliate him at this.
This is sensitive, sir.
It's
piyoge to maroge.
This is unfortunate.
Piyoge to maroge.
People, when they were with
piyoge to maroge is sensitive.
The stand of Nitish Kumar.
Mr. Subodh Kumar, please tell me, sir. Piyoge to maroge is a sensitive comment according to you?
Bihar, listen, sir. Bihar is a poor state.
No, yes or no? I'm not going to the social and the sociological background of Bihar. Is piyoge to maroge a sensitive comment according to you, yes or no? Mr. Subodh Kumar, you are on mute. Please unmute yourself and answer me. You are live on national television. Is piyoge to maroge a sensitive comment for a responsible chief minister to be making?
Mr. Nitish Kumar is very sensitive, and I'm sure if you...
It is not victim shaming according to you.
No, if you look at his...
It is not victim shaming.
Pardon?
It is not victim shaming according to you, sir.
The victims, we are very unhappy for the victims and the incident.
No, but this is victim shaming.
No, not at all. See, the far-reaching impact of this liquor ban in Bihar.
I want Subrashta to come in.
It is for the beneficiary.
Mr. Subodh Kumar, I want Subrashta to come in. Subrashta,
a lot of people have benefited out of it.
The tragedy in itself is so unfortunate. What is really unfortunate, I mean, we saw Mr. Nitish Kumar losing his cool yesterday in the assembly. But calling the victims and saying, victim shaming them and saying piyoge to maroge is the absolute limit of callousness for any political leader in recent days.
Absolutely, and I don't think this really goes by the personality that Nitish Kumar has carried on for so long in politics. Madhav, most of the policies of Nitish Kumar have been governed by vote bank considerations, and I don't blame him for it. I think every savvy politician would do that. So he did a lot for women, and apparently, and rightfully so, women wanted liquor ban in the state. It was much touted as a pro-woman policy and all of that. But Cornell University did a recent study, and what we see is that liquor ban in Bihar has been a very casual. This is a term that the research says. It has been a very casual move, something which has not been attempted anywhere else at this scale, and it has been a real policy failure. Crime rates haven't really come down. Nobody has any documentary evidence on how this really impacted spousal violence, because of which this ban was brought in the very first place, with full public galore and all of that. But what we have seen today in the unfortunate tragedy that has unfolded in Bihar with the unfortunate death of 39 people, we must understand what kind of alcohol is responsible for these kind of deaths, and month after month we see such tragedy unfolding in one part of Bihar or the other. This alcohol is local brewed alcohol in absence of a firm policy as to how, and education as to how this alcohol should be brewed. Mere temperature changes, Madhav, increases the toxicity in alcohol, and people die because of that. It is extremely unfortunate. And
it's for the government. And it's for the government. The government can't run away from its constitutional responsibility at the end of the day, Subrashta. And that's why I want to quickly bring in Chittaranjan Gagan as well. Chittaranjan Gagan, अगर यहाँ पे आप शराबबंदी की पॉलिसी लागू करते हैं, उसमें कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. There is no problem. But then it is the responsibility of the government to ensure that there is no illegal supply of alcohol, that this kind of illicit hooch is not being sold to people. ये सब सरकार की जिम्मेदारी बनती है. आप इस जिम्मेदारी से नहीं भाग सकते हैं. और अनफॉर्चुनेटली आज की डेट में जब विक्टिम शेमिंग हो रही है, जब ये कहा जा रहा है कि पियोगे तो मरोगे, तो ये ऐसा लग रहा है कि सरकार अपनी जिम्मेदारी से भागते हुए दिख रही है.
नहीं, देखिए माधव जी, सरकार कहीं भी अपनी जिम्मेदारी से नहीं भाग रही है.
तो ऐसे स्टेटमेंट्स क्यों दे रही है सर?
नहीं, जब शराबबंदी लागू हुआ था बिहार में, सभी दलों ने समर्थन किया था, सभी के समर्थन से यह लागू हुआ. और शराबबंदी एक ऐसा मुद्दा है जो केवल जिसकी जिम्मेवारी केवल प्रशासन पर डालकर हम नहीं बच सकते. समाज की भी जिम्मेवारी होती है. जिन लोगों ने इसका समर्थन किया उन सब की जिम्मेवारी बनती है कि
सर, अगर लोग मर रहे हैं, अगर लोग मर रहे हैं और अगर सरकार इस तरह की तुगलकी फरमान और तुगलकी बयान दे रही है, तो आप क्या एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं? आप क्या एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं? लोग चुप रहे, 40 लोग मरे, ये कहा जाए कि आप सब शराबी हो गए हैं, ये कहा जाए कि पियोगे तो मरोगे, ये किस तरह की बयान है सर?
मुख्यमंत्री जी जिस संदर्भ में कहे, मुख्यमंत्री जी का कहने का संदर्भ था कि जब कानूनी रूप से इसे बंद कर दिया गया, शराबबंदी लागू है। सभी जानते हैं, पहले भी कई घटनाएं घट चुकी है कि जहरीली शराब पीने, शराब जो लोकल लिमिट शराब लोग पीते हैं तो उससे कई लोगों की मृत्यु हो गई है, तो उससे सीख लेने की जरूरत है। उसी छपरा में पहले भी ऐसी घटना घट चुकी है। तो
टू रॉन्ग्स डोंट मेक अ राइट, टू रॉन्ग्स डोंट मेक अ राइट। अगर इस पूरे मामले पर काबू नहीं कर सकती है, नियंत्रण नहीं है सरकार का, then there is a serious problem. Subhrashta, I'm going to just come to you in a minute, but I want to quickly bring in Rakesh Sinha because we have limited time. Rakesh Sinha ji, the argument coming from JDU is that the BJP had no such problem when you were in government with them. Why do you have a problem now as far as the liquor ban policy is concerned? Please respond to Mr. Kumar.
You know, nobody has problem with the ban on liquor. That is not the question of debate. The question of debate is the responsibility of the government. The way Chief Minister is making a statement is unacceptable, undesirable, uncalled for. Those who died, they were poor people, they were illiterate people, and you are blaming your own citizens. Yes, they had taken liquor, but who is responsible? Liquor ban has not been made just for the people. There is other hidden agenda of the ruling elites, that is liquor tax. The huge amount of corruption, and the police, administration and politicians are collectively responsible. And you can find in any districts how much, and almost everyone, there is a hierarchy. How much money goes to the what person? According to hierarchy, the money is reaching. It is not an hidden thing. And the Chief Minister has to accept that. I am not blaming him that he is taking money. But I am asking the question, can he vouch that there is no corruption? And who are involved? The senior police officers, senior bureaucrats, and senior elites who are connected with the power corridors.
Okay.
So the Chief Minister, the way you are doing, that you know.
Well, many questions for the state government to answer. Nitish Kumar, certainly, you know, any politician after such a tragedy, the least that citizens expect is that they would at least show some amount of humility and regret, not this kind of aggression and arrogance that is being seen, unfortunately, in the behavior, in the body language, and in the comments that are coming out in this particular case. It's a tragic case, but more tragic perhaps is the responses of the powers that be in the state of Bihar. We'll have to leave it there, ladies and gentlemen, completely out of time. I'd like to thank Rakesh Sinha, Subhrashta, Subodh Kumar and Chitranjan Gagan for joining us this evening on the News Hour.
You were watching the News Hour at 9. Stay tuned.
आज हम यहाँ पे लेके आए हैं एक बहुत ही अनोखा डिवाइस, द न्यू ओप्पो रेनोवेट प्रो हाउस ऑफ द ड्रैगन्स एडिशन। एंड चलिए इसे अनबॉक्स करते हैं। डब्बा तो काफी बड़ा दिया है इन्होंने। आपको गाइस दिख रहा होगा, ये है आपका ड्रैगन के स्केल्स जैसा पैटर्न दिया हुआ है यहाँ पे। मैंने इसके आधे पैकेजिंग फाड़ दी ऑलरेडी। ये रहा आपका रेनोवेट प्रो हाउस ऑफ द ड्रैगन्स एडिशन। चलिए तो इसे अनबॉक्स करते हैं। बॉक्स का जैसा आप देख सकते हैं यहाँ पे हाउस ऑफ ड्रैगन्स का इंसिग्निया दिया हुआ है। यहाँ पे हाउस ऑफ द ड्रैगन्स ओप्पो लिखा हुआ है एंड पीछे HBO का लोगो, ऑफिशियल मर्चेंडाइज। ये 12-256 वेरिएंट है। सो चलिए इसे ओपन करते हैं। ओके, सो ये ओपन होता है एक स्क्रोल के साथ। ये रहा आपका स्क्रोल। हाँ, तो इसमें आपका पूरा लिखा हुआ है गॉड्स, किंग्स, फायर एंड ब्लड, ड्रीम्स डिडंट मेक अस किंग्स, ड्रैगन्स डिड। सो ये है आपका स्क्रोल। अच्छा, तो इसमें एक नीचे ये दिया हो गया है। सो अब निकलेगा मेन। सो इसमें स्टार्टिंग ऑफ, अच्छा ये है आपका एक सिम इजेक्टर टूल ड्रैगन के शेप में। ये आपका एक कीचेन है। सो बेसिकली इस लिमिटेड एडिशन को आपको इंडिया में अभी लॉन्च हुआ है। सो ये है आपका एक कीचेन ड्रैगन के इंसिग्निया के साथ, हाउस ऑफ ड्रैगन्स। ये है आपका एक फोन कवर के लिए। बिल्ड क्वालिटी काफी अच्छा है, ये मेटल का है और यहाँ पे जैसे देख सकते हैं टेप लगा है। सो काफी अच्छी बिल्ड क्वालिटी है इस चीज का। ऑफ कोर्स इट्स लिमिटेड एडिशन, व्हाट डू यू एक्सपेक्ट। एंड ये है सबसे मेन। सो ये रहा आपका ड्रैगन एग। अब जाते हैं मेन फोन पे। सब कुछ आ गया। ये है आपका कवर, इसमें जैसा आप देख सकते हैं TM, ट्रेडमार्क, HBO वगैरह ऑफिशियल मर्चेंडाइज के जो भी राइटिंग्स होता है। एंड अब ये रहा आपका फोन। सो ये बेसिक बॉक्स, फुल्ली ब्लैक बॉक्स विथ just house of.
You're watching the News Hour at 9.
In a massive development, India has test-fired Agni-5 intercontinental ballistic missile in Odisha. This comes in the backdrop of Tawang clashes. After Pakistan raised Kashmir issue at the UN, Foreign Minister S. Shivshankar said that Islamabad has no right to sermonize after sheltering Osama bin Laden and sponsoring cross-border terrorism. Calcutta High Court has sought clarification from the West Bengal and central government on their stand on judicial probe demand in custodial death of accused Lalan Sheikh. While addressing an audience at the inauguration ceremony of BJP district offices in Kopala, BJP chief JP Nadda said that Congress Bharat Jodo Yatra is actually Bharat Todo Yatra. BJP has declared that Shankar Chaudhary and Jethabhai Bharwar are to be the candidates for the post of Speaker and Deputy Speaker of the newly formed State Legislative Assembly. In a major development in Shraddha murder case, a DNA test has confirmed that the bones recovered from the jungles of Mehroli belong to Shraddha, as they match her father's DNA. A CBI court has accepted the charge sheet filed by the probe agency in the Delhi excise policy probe. The court has issued summons to all the 7 accused who have been named in the charge sheet. The EOW team of the Mumbai police has given clean chit to BJP leader Kirit Somaiya and his son for allegedly misappropriating funds collected to restore the decommissioned aircraft carrier INS Vikrant. Gangster Mukhtar Ansari, who was arrested by the ED yesterday, has been handed over 10-year jail term in Gangster Act case registered in 1996.
You were watching the News Hour at 9. Stay tuned.
आजकल कार्स में इतनी ज्यादा हाई टेक्नोलॉजी आ गई है जिसके बारे में बात किए बिना नहीं रहा जा सकता, और इसी वजह से आज इस मर्सिडीज EQS जो 580 4MATIC है उसे हम लेकर आए हैं। इसका रिव्यू, इसकी ड्राइव परफॉर्मेंस तो आप जान चुके हैं, लेकिन इससे कुछ एक कूल फीचर्स ऐसे हैं जिनको मैं खुद से एक्सपीरियंस करना चाह रहा था, इसमें मैंने ड्राइव नहीं किया था, और इनके जो फीचर्स हैं वो एक्चुअली माइंड ब्लोइंग नजर आएंगे। तो ऐसे ही कुछ एक खास फीचर्स के बारे में आज मैं इस स्टोरी में आपको बताने वाला हूं। सबसे पहली चीज जो मुझे कूलनेस के हिसाब से भी और रोड सेफ्टी के हिसाब से भी बहुत ही अच्छी लगी वो है इसके एडेप्टिव जो हेडलैम्प्स हैं। और ये हेडलैम्प्स दरअसल काम ये करते हैं कि जब आप ऑटो मोड में इसे चलाएं तो फिर लो बीम हाई बीम में आपको शिफ्ट करने की जरूरत नहीं है। ऑटो मोड में आप चलाएं और कार जो है वो इंटेलिजेंट है और जो हेडलैम्प्स हैं वो अडेप्टिव हैं, तो आने वाले जो ट्रैफिक है, आने वाली कार्स हैं, ड्राइवर्स हैं, उन्हें ये ब्लाइंड नहीं करती है। लाइट्स अपने आप एडजस्ट हो जाती है और जब सामने कुछ नहीं रहता है तो सड़क बहुत दूर तक, बहुत आगे तक आपको रोशन मिलती है, लाइट्स काफी दूर तक जाते हैं। तो ये बहुत ही स्मार्ट आपको इसके हेडलैम्प का पूरा सेटअप लगेगा। कूलनेस की बात करें तो एक अलग लेवल है, क्योंकि जब इसे आप ऑन करते हैं, जो लाइट्स जिस तरह से सीक्वेंशली जगमगाती हैं वो बहुत ही कूल लगता है। और उसके बाद आपको याद आता है कि हाँ, आपने अगर 1.5 करोड़ रुपए दिए हैं, जो कि एक शोरूम प्राइस है, वो अगर दिए किसी कार के लिए, तो फिर एक और फीचर है जिसके बारे में आप अपने दोस्तों के साथ पार्टी में डिस्कस कर सकते हैं। एक और कूल फीचर जो बाहर से ही आपको देखने को मिलेगा, और वो आपको शायद याद होगा जब हमने जो AMG की थी, EQS का AMG वर्जन, उसमें भी था और वो भी काफी कूल लगा था। इसमें भी आपको वो कूल लगेगा। बस उंगलियां स्लाइड कीजिए यहाँ पर, जैसे कि हम सभी को आदत है, अपने अपने स्मार्टफोन के ऊपर हम स्लाइड करते रहते हैं, और ये कार जो है वो खुल जाती है। आप इसे इस दरवाजे को खोलिए और फिर इसे आप टच कीजिए और ये बंद भी हो जाती है। थैंकफुली अभी चाबी मैंने अपने पॉकेट में रखी हुई है, क्योंकि टेक्नोलॉजी ऐसी है जिसने पहली बार मुझे थोड़ा सा नर्वस किया था कि ये खोलूं तो खोलूं कैसे। मैं दबा रहा था बार बार और दब नहीं रही थी, और इसे जब स्लाइड किया तब ये कार खुली। तो ये एक बहुत ही कूल फीचर मुझे नजर आया। जब बाहरी हैं तो एक और फीचर के बारे में आपको बताता हूं, और वो है इस लग्जरी कार में, लग्जरी इलेक्ट्रिक कार में ढेर सारा जो लग स्पेस है। लुक एट दिस। यहाँ पर इस तरह के रिव्यूज में आमतौर पर हम कहते हैं आपकी सारी गोल्फ किट इसमें अट सकती है, और यहाँ पे मैं देख के सबसे पहले वही कह सकता हूँ, क्योंकि लगेज के लिए तो जगह काफी है ही। अगर आप गोल्फ के भी शौकीन हैं, वहां पे भी 2-3 लोगों के गोल्फ किट तो यहाँ पर आ सकते हैं। वैसे
Good evening and welcome. You're watching the Newshour Agenda. I'm Padmaja Joshi and I'd like to take a quick minute to thank you viewers. Last week was a very critical one. It was an election week, and it's in that week that you decided to put your faith in us, in Times Now and in Newshour Agenda, keeping us way ahead of any competition. If today we are number 1 for election day and election week, it's thanks to you. Thank you very much for your trust and your viewership. Talking now, I want to start today with a rhetorical question. Did the BJP plot and plan the Mangaluru cooker blast? A blast that occurred in an auto rickshaw, injuring the driver and the passenger on the 19th of November this year. If the Karnataka Pradesh Congress Committee President D.K. Shivakumar is to be believed, this blast was the BJP government's attempt to divert attention from Votegate, Congress's name for its deletion of names from electoral rolls charge. This declaration comes from a senior leader of a party who has undertaken Bharat Jodo Yatra, a journey that the party claims aspires to unite India, and now one of its leaders, who by the way walked with Rahul Gandhi, is he trying to whitewash a terror bit? For D.K. Shivakumar, the blast that could have ended up killing hundreds of people is maybe just a mistake.
You're telling me you said there is a big terrorist. Who are the terrorists? Please let me know. What action you have taken? Who has declared? Who was the DG to declare himself that is a terrorist? Or Pulwama or anything? Nothing is there. Some fellow might have done some mistake, we don't tell. But how we are trying to project it?
Why do you think the government was doing that?
Why? Because the vote gate, they wanted to steal the votes in the history of Indian politics.
Now, this declaration of innocence comes as a complete contradiction to what the DGP of Karnataka, Praveen Sood, said. He confirmed just a day after the blast that it was an act of terror, and in fact, that's the reason why the NIA is probing the suspect Sharik for his links with the Islamic State. However, in case you thought that this statement has been made in the heat of the moment without sparing a thought for the implications it could have, which is giving a clean chit to a man with clear terror connections even in the past, here is what the KPCC chief has said when confronted.
Well, the BJP is behind it, sir? Yes, see, they just tried to blow it. They should have done an investigation, fair investigation, let them do it, let them act, let them punish, let them hang whomever they want. When things of the entire vote system was been under theft. They just tried to deviate. There was no need of the DG or the police reacting to it. There is a system.
Now, accused of plotting the blast, the BJP has retorted sharply. Remember, all of this is happening at a time when the elections in the state are just a few months away. And it's also coming at a time when there is a very restive part of the state where a certain vote bank is very important. Mangaluru, where this blast took place, is an area where the BJP and the Sangh Parivar enjoy a significant amount of support. Is this then DK Shivakumar's idea of trying to keep people in the region happy, never mind the cost?
ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿ ಕೆ ಶಿವಕುಮಾರ್ ಇದೊಂಥರ ಸಿಲ್ಲಿ ಬ್ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಒಂಥರ
ಅವರು ಅಗ್ರವಾಗಿ ಮಾತಾಡೋದು ಅವ್ರ ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾನೇನು ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್
What more they can appease? Every day they appease the minority or one or the other section of the vote, but still they are unable to get the votes. But at least he should have some concern about the people of Karnataka who have made him MLA and minister several times in the past. Have some gratitude, Mr. DK Shivakumar.
The matter and the probe has been transferred to the NIA. The NIA is investigating the matter. Even before a clean check can be given by the agencies, why is the Congress party so eager to give Islamist terror a clean check? Why is the Congress party having such double standards, and why is the Congress party soft on terror is the question that needs to be asked.
You're watching the News Hour at 10, debate number 1 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Joining us now on the debate, Sanju Verma, National Spokesperson of the BJP, author Anurag Naidu, lawyer Ahmed Ayaz. My first question is to Lokesh Jindal, leader of the Congress. Mr. Jindal, when DK Shivakumar says it was a mistake, what was the intention? So the cooker bomb and the explosion was a mistake. What was the actual intent?
Good evening, Padmaja.
Good evening.
Now, here DK Shivakumar is being misinterpreted. When he said that the Mangaluru blast, he was basically trying to criticize the politicization that is taking place.
No, he wasn't.
On this
No,
incident.
he wasn't. Make no mistake about it. I think here's where you are making a mistake. He said, where is the big terrorist? Was this a Pulwama?
In the Mangalore,
essentially what the former
blast,
essentially what Mr. Shivakumar is saying, it's not like a big blast happened and hundreds died, right? It was just one man in an auto who got injured.
Allow me to complete.
Yes, go on.
Now, on 18th of November, the Chilam Watergate scandal was out in the public. But then BJP, it simply suppressed it down. No media channel is discussing about it. Nobody is interested to know about it. What had happened was the government itself was hand in glove with a private agency called
Sir, that should be inquired. That is being inquired, and two people, when I last read about it, had already been acted against. Answer the question. My question is, if a man is traveling with a cooker which has and I quote, what did that cooker have? It has circuits, it has nut bolts. In his house, they found sulfur, phosphorus, battery, circuits, nut bolts. Can you please tell me what exactly was Sharik doing with sulfur, phosphorus, batteries, circuits and nut bolts? What was he making? He is not Pulwama bomber. He is not a big terrorist. He is just a poor boy. What was he doing with sulfur, phosphorus, batteries, circuits and nut bolts?
See, the NIA knows it the best. The Karnataka police knows it the best.
So if the Karnataka police know it the best, Karnataka police is saying Sharik is a bomber.
But why is the political party politicizing the case?
Who's politicizing? Mr. Shivakumar is the one politicizing. The first thing that happened, Mr. Jindal, is that they took this case, said this man is a terrorist, he was trying to carry out an attack, he may have been in touch with IS handlers, and gave it to the NIA. Now Mr. Shivakumar brings it in and says, this just could be a guy who made a mistake.
Let NIA come with its finding.
Then why is Mr. Shivakumar being super NIA and saying that this is a mistake?
Giving a cover up to the Watergate scandal.
Who is covering up? Mr. Jindal.
BBMP.
Mr. Jindal. Mr. Jindal. Unless you are saying that Sharik, over a period of several months, divined that there is going to be a Watergate scandal, and he says just in case there is a Watergate scandal, मैं कुकर रख लेता हूँ handy. कभी भी कुछ भी हो सकता है, कुकर घर में रहना चाहिए. सल्फर और फॉस्फोरस के साथ.
What is more important? What is more important?
I mean, what kind of logic? But Sanju Verma, just a second. Is it curious that 6 months before elections, one blast happens and within a day, the top cop of the state says terror attack? That is suspicious. Within a day, how do you know? Sanju Verma.
You know, Padmaja, I'm not amused that the BJP is being put in the dockyard while it is the Congress and DK Shivakumar who need to be questioned for that utterly reprehensible, utterly shameful comment where the Congress High Command in Karnataka is trying to normalize an act of terror, is institutionalizing an act of terror by asking the BJP to give Mohammad Sharik a clean chit. And actually, what was the exact statement of DK Shivakumar? How can you call this man a terrorist? Do you think people are fools? Is this a terror attack? It was just a cooker blast. Is this a terror attack on the lines of Jammu Kashmir, Mumbai, Delhi, Pulwama? So basically, जब तक 100 लोगों की मौत नहीं होती, DK Shivakumar के कलेजे में ठंडक नहीं पड़ती. Is that what DK Shivakumar is saying?
Lokesh Jindal.
Point number 2. Padmaja, I heard Lokesh Jindal for a long time.
Go on, finish. Yes.
Thank you. As far as the Votegate scandal goes, none less than Basavaraj Bommai has ordered a probe in not just Mahadevpura, but in 28 assembly constituencies and both the Garuda app and the Digital Samiksha app. There will be a probe conducted on both these apps. So please don't say that the BJP is trying to divert attention. We are actually doing the needful in terms of conducting a thorough probe. The State Election Commission is already on the job. I have this question to ask. Why is it, be it the 1921 Mopla genocide, 1946 Noakhali riots, 1984 anti-Sikh genocide, or the Kashmiri genocide of 1990s, why is it that the Congress always has sympathy for genocide enablers? Why is it that you are always standing on the wrong side of the fence with the aggressor?
Lokesh Jindal, respond, and I want to bring in Ahmad Ayaz. Lokesh Jindal. It's just a really sad pattern. If I could just limit myself to Karnataka for a while also, there was an MLA of the Congress in Karnataka, Lokesh Jindal, whose nephew went on Facebook and wrote some things because of which the MLA's house was attacked. It was burnt, sir. There were women inside. People surrounded it. People pelted stones. They set fire. What did the Congress do? They went against their own MLA. Instead of saying that here is a man who faced a threat to his life. Why? Why would you not want to call out?
First of all, I'll answer Sanju Verma's
terror enablers
statement that it was the Karnataka government which ordered a probe. No,
sir,
that's not the scenario.
First of all, this is a fallacious comparison. Sir, please do not drag that issue into this, because the very comparison is fallacious. To try and say that this man carried out a terror attack because there was a Votegate scandal happening on its own, it should definitely be probed. There is no doubt about it. Tell me, how is Sharik connected to that story? Period. Why would you even link it?
What I want to say is nobody is shielding Sharik.
But you are. The Congress state president has just called him somebody who made a mistake. His exact words are, Ahmad Ayaz, who is he? Is he a big terrorist? First of all, I did not know that there is some hierarchy of terrorists. That you are a big terrorist, then you are a mid-range terrorist, then you are a rookie terrorist, then you are like a daily wager terrorist. A terrorist is a terrorist. A man is carrying around a cooker bomb, he is a terrorist. Ahmad Ayaz.
To the Votegate scandal.
If you are saying, who is this man? Was this a very big terrorist? You are basically normalizing an actual act of terror.
In order to have a sati, they used to start beating drums.
Sir, one at a time, please. One at a time, Mr. Jindal. Yes, go on. Ahmad Ayaz. Ahmad Ayaz.
You see, to say that at this stage, to say that it was a mistake as said by Shivakumar, or it is a case where not hundreds have died, I mean that's not right. You see, question is, it is a case where somebody has been found with a cooker bomb and needs to be seen as to what exactly is it, and also
to call it, to call it somebody particularly Sharif or this and that is a terrorist. I don't think that we should come to conclusions unless it is well proved. Yes, it is well. Some agency comes out with the investigation.
So, sir, just out of curiosity,
something has happened
let's
like
just show that
Also,
picture
I
of
think
Sharik, which was found from his home. Here is a man who actually posed over the years. There has been literature of radicalism which has been found from him. He has posed before he went in that auto rickshaw with that cooker in his hand and that gesture. When you say let's not hasten to call him a terrorist,
no, let me
what
also
should we hasten to call him? A man with a cooker. Because he has Rajma inside.
Why I said so?
He's a budding chef.
Why I said so? Because see, elections, Padmaja, why I said so? Because elections in Karnataka also around the corner. Karnataka being a very peaceful state and particularly Bangalore, the capital of the state.
So who
extremely
put
peaceful.
Sharik
And now that the elections are being around the corner,
before
a lot of
elections
things
in
can
Karnataka
perhaps be there.
trying to carry out an attack like this?
Is needed.
Are you suggesting that the BJP has recruited Sharik to carry out the attack? What are we actually questioning? The fact that this man is a terrorist, or the fact that who he was inspired by?
Yeah, what happens? We have mostly seen when elections are around the corner, such things have been happening. So as such, that element also, that factor cannot be ruled out. So that's what I say. Unless a proper investigation is done to come to a conclusion.
So come out in the open. When you're bringing in the election angle, you obviously have a conspiracy theory.
Let us wait.
What is your theory?
And then say what is what.
What is your theory? Why would you connect this to the elections? What do you suspect?
No, anything can.
Anything क्या मतलब है?
Anything can be. Anything can be.
If you're making an assertion, it must be based on something, right?
That's what I say. Unless there's an investigation done and with some agency, and the agency comes with a report, I don't think that we should.
Anurag Naidu, it's too soon to call him a terrorist.
Let us wait.
Anything is possible.
Yeah, I mean, Padmaja, look, I mean, as an analyst, it just makes me think, that the gentleman is a leader of opposition here. He's a president of the state for the state unit. It is a so-called national party. And instead of saying that, we all should support the probe against the perpetrator, and so much have been investigated already, not just by the Karnataka police, but also the NIA, and solid evidence, of the perpetrators being found with explosives. And this all points towards something really concrete and meaningful. But I really don't understand the timing of this statement. It makes me think, is it a minority appeasement? It is at display. And also, let's understand, when we are questioning the quick action of the DGP or the quick action of the police, let's understand, over the last 1.5 years in Karnataka, there have been several incidences where the workers of BJP have been murdered, and there is always, the chief minister has kept the police on high alert. And as a result of it, they were prepared to break down or to crack down. Then that is a result why the results have been out so good and so quick. So instead of appreciating and backing the police, if you're trying to question that, I believe
interesting. So you're saying that the reason to bring up a comment like this and the timing is this your idea, the Congress's idea of vote bank appeasement, Lokesh Dindal? This kind of politics.
No, I mean, in fact, BJP has to answer this particular question, that why is it that just before elections, it carries out the Chilam vote scandal, and when it is caught red-handed at that point of time, suddenly it comes out with...
So you do know that Sharik was arrested earlier in 2020 when there was no scandal and no vote scandal and there was no app. This man has been arrested earlier as well.
This incident is being politicized.
Or as according to your theory, in 2020 he was doing a dry run just in case BJP does a vote scandal in 2022.
Has the NIA submitted its report?
Padmaja, may I?
Then Mr. Shivakumar should wait for the NIA. If the NIA, like you rightly said, has not submitted its report,
we wait for the NIA. And what is to be probed into is the Chilam scandal that has rocked Karnataka. But what are we discussing? We are discussing a scandal. We are discussing an incident which has not yet been probed.
Yes, sir, we should discuss it. We should discuss it because this would have taken the lives of people. While your scandal is extremely important to discuss, this is, and I say this with full responsibility, 10 times as important, because this could have cost the lives of hundreds of people in Mangaluru. And then you would be saying, oh, why didn't you prevent this from happening? Now it has been prevented, you're like, who is this man? It could just be a mistake.
No. See, Padmaja, nobody is denying it, but NIA is proving
TK Shivkumar is literally denying it. Sir, are you in denial?
He outrightly stated that let the investigating agency carry out their investigation.
He did not say that. He did not say. Okay, can we just play DK Shivkumar again? Instead of beating around the bush with Lokesh Jindal, I think the proof of the pudding is in the hearing of what Mr. DK Shivkumar actually said. His exact words were, who is this man? Is he like a Pulwama bomber? Is he some big terrorist? Listen for yourself.
You tell me, you said there is a big terrorist. Who are the terrorists? Please let me know. What action you have taken? Who has declared? Who was the DG to declare himself that is a terrorist? Or Pulwama or anything? Nothing is there. Some fellow might have done some mistake, we don't tell. But how we are trying to project it?
Why do you think the government was doing that?
Why? Because the vote gate, they wanted to steal the votes in the history of Indian politics.
Lokesh Jindal.
Yes. You please play the second statement that he gave in front of the press when all the reporters, they asked him the question. Please play that video as well.
Unbelievable, sir. Unbelievable. You can go to any length to try and justify, with the greatest of respect, it seems that Mr. Shivkumar is in denial about what Sharik wanted to do, and you are in denial about what Mr. Shivkumar is saying. He has no compunctions about making it clear what he thinks. Sanju Verma, respond.
Do not cover up the important issue.
Sanju Verma, respond.
I did not heckle this man. I need my time. Thank you. I did not heckle anybody. I need my time. Thank you. You know, Padmaja, I don't want to go into the past, but let truth be told. December 19th, 2008, after Batla House encounter, Sonia Gandhi shed copious tears, not for Mohan Chand Sharma, who lost his life, that brave heart, but for Indian Mujahideen. Or, 14 सालों के बाद, nothing has changed. Today, DK Shivakumar, due to the cooker blast that happened on November 19th this year, instead of lauding the Karnataka police, lauding the Karnataka DGP, who was quick to ensure that action is taken, and he clearly said, Praveen Sood, DGP Karnataka, that this was an act of terror. The act that happened on 19th November 2022, it was not just a cooker blast in an auto rickshaw. Mohammed Sharik is a radicalized man who has faced 2 charge sheets, one in 2020, one in 2021, is currently on trial, is being probed by the National Investigative Agency, the NIA. And what do we have? DK Shivakumar is busy giving a clean check. I want to ask DK Shivakumar, vote bank politics is not being played by the BJP. Is it you, sir, who's playing vote bank politics by trying to shield a certain person because he belongs to a certain community?
It's indeed shameful that when you have a man who goes on a stabbing spree in Gorakhpur, we're suddenly told that he did it because he was bullied in college. Then we have a man who is found to be burnt. He has himself sustained burns because he was carrying explosives inside a cooker. And then we are asked, well, nothing actually happened, nobody died. So how can you call him a terrorist? Well, we can call him a terrorist because he was caught in the act, and luckily for us, the act was thwarted. And if this is the level of politics we start doing, tomorrow, God forbid, India's enemies think that we are a soft target, we will have nobody to blame but ourselves. Thanks very much, all gentlemen. Sanju Verma for joining me. absolute tragedy in Bihar. At least 40 people have died. Many others are still battling for their lives after consuming spurious liquor in Saran district. When a tragedy of such a scale happens, what do you expect from the man who's at the helm of affairs, the Chief Minister of the state, to order a probe and action and ensure that culprits are brought to book? Because remember, Bihar has prohibition in place, which makes the availability of hooch a graver crime. Instead, here is what happened. Today, Nitish Kumar pinned the blame on the victim, saying, अगर पियोगे तो मरोगे।
कोई पी लेता है। देखिए, ज्यादातर लोगों ने इसके पक्ष में सहमति दी है, लेकिन कुछ आदमी को क्या कीजिएगा, कुछ तो ऐसी गलती करता ही है। तब उसके बाद पिछली बार भी याद है ना, जहरीली शराब से मर गया तो कोई कहा कि इनको मिलना चाहिए कंपल्सन के बाद। जो शराब पिएगा वो तो मरेगा ही, ये तो उदाहरण ही सामने है कि पियोगे तो मरोगे, यही तो बात है। एक बात और पूछ लीजिए, जो विपक्ष का लोग बोलता है जहरीली शराब से हम मरे, उनसे पूछिए कि आपका जहां जहां शासन है वहां कितना जहरीली शराब से मर रहा है। आप पूछ लीजिए उन लोगों से, कुछ नहीं बोलता। पहले एक एक चीज छपता था, आजकल सब जगह में जो गंदगी हो रही है वो नहीं कुछ छप रहा। लेकिन समाज में तो आप कितना भी कुछ भी काम करिएगा, कुछ ना कुछ तो गड़बड़ करेगा नहीं जी। आई क्राइम को रोकने के लिए कितना पहले से कानून बना हुआ, तब भी हत्या करता है ना, तो क्या कीजिए, कुछ तो आदमी गड़बड़ करता ही है।
You're watching the News Hour at 10. Debate number 2 on Times Now. Super Prime Time.
Alright, joining us now is Abdul Basit, leader of the RJD, spokesperson of JDU, Abhishek Jha, Tuhin Sinha, spokesperson of the BJP. But I want to first go across to Sushil Modi, former Deputy Chief Minister of Bihar. Sushil Modi जी, बहुत धन्यवाद आपसे हमसे बात करने के लिए। नीतीश जी ने आज कहा कि जब बीजेपी पूरी तरीके से ऑन बोर्ड थी जब प्रोहिबिशन लाया गया बिहार में, अब आप प्रोटेस्ट क्यों कर रहे हैं?
Say we are not protesting against prohibition. We are for prohibition. And we were for prohibition. And when Nitish Kumar announced prohibition, at that time we were in opposition. In spite of that, we supported his prohibition policy. So he's trying to divert the attention, saying that BJP is against prohibition. So we are not against prohibition. We are in favor of prohibition. We are only the incidents which are taking place in Bihar. And this is not the first incident that 2 days back about 40 people died, and the still numbers are increasing. So this is not the first incident. In the last 6 years, more than 1,000 people have died because of the Hooch tragedy, and 4 lakh people have been jailed. Why 4 lakh people have been jailed? And he is saying that जो शराब पीता वो महापापी है, जो पिएगा वो मरेगा, जो शराब पीता है उसको हिंदुस्तानी कहलाने का अधिकार नहीं है। ये क्या है नीतीश जी, आप क्या बोल रहे हैं? You have lost your balance.
Sir, but
I've not seen Nitish
Sir, you're
Kumar
saying that he's lost his balance, but this is he would argue that this is a reality, that if people do
इस प्रकार की and you are threatening BJP कि बर्बाद हो जाओगे। नीतीश जी, बीजेपी को कोई बर्बाद नहीं कर सकता है। बीजेपी को बर्बाद करने वाले बर्बाद हो सकते हैं। और जब हम लोगों ने आईना दिखाया तो उनको गुस्सा आ रहा है। तो हमारा सवाल प्रोहिबिशन पॉलिसी पर नहीं, प्रोहिबिशन पर नहीं है। हम प्रोहिबिशन के पक्ष में हैं, लेकिन अगर प्रोहिबिशन को लागू करने के लिए 4 लाख लोगों को जेल में बंद करना पड़े, अगर प्रतिदिन 1545 people are being arrested, 10,000 liter of liquor is being confiscated, तो आप और ये and who are the people going to jail? 90% of them are SC, ST and OBC.
Sure, but Nitish ji is saying it's a fact that if people continue to break the law, then this will happen.
But do they know that they are consuming spurious liquor? भी जो गरीब आदमी है उसको जागरूक करना आपका काम था, आपने जागरूक किया नहीं। गरीब लोग हैं, अब उसको थोड़ी मालूम है कि जो शराब पी रहे वो जहरीली शराब है। और शराब आ क्यों रही है, आ कैसे रही है शराब? जब शराबबंदी है तो इतने बड़े पैमाने पर शराब आ रही है और पीने वालों को गिरफ्तार कर रहे हैं और सप्लायर्स को गिरफ्तार नहीं कर रहे हैं। तो आप पीने वाले को थोड़ी मालूम है कि वो स्पूरियस लीकर पी रहा है। और देखिए जो मरने वाला है वो तो पीकर चला गया, उसकी जो विधवा है, उसके जो बच्चे हैं, आप क्या उनकी मदद नहीं करेंगे? बस एक्सीडेंट में कोई मर जाता है और बस पर अलाउड है कि इतने ही लोग चल सकते हैं, या नाव, बिहार में बोट ट्रेजेडी आए दिन होती रहती है। ओनली अ लिमिटेड नंबर ऑफ पीपल आर अलाउड टू राइड द बोट, बट देर ओवर क्राउडिंग इन द बोट, और बोट जो है वो डूब जाता है।
But sir, ये बताइए that it's not the first time that boat tragedies have happened. For example, जब आप सरकार में थे तो मार्च 2022 को होली पे 32 लोगों की डेथ हुई थी, बांका, भागलपुर, मधेपुरा में लोगों की डेथ हुई थी, उसके पहले जनवरी में 8 लोगों की डेथ हुई थी, नालंदा में लोगों की मौत हुई थी। तो ये तो प्रॉब्लम सिर्फ नीतीश सरकार की नहीं है, आपकी सरकार की भी थी।
नहीं, देखिए जब आदमी सरकार में रहता तो थोड़ी क्रिटिसाइज करता पब्लिकली, लेकिन हम लोगों ने उनको व्यक्तिगत तौर पर मिलकर अपनी आपत्ति जाहिर की है। व्हेन वी वर इन द गवर्नमेंट आल्सो, बीजेपी लीडर्स मेट नीतीश कुमार एंड अप्राइज देम ऑफ देयर कंसर्न। इट इज नॉट दैट व्हेन वी इन पावर आल्सो वी नेवर अप्राइज हिम ऑल दीज थिंग्स, बट नेचुरली व्हेन वी आर ऑपोजिशन, तो ये तो हमारा काम है ना। अगर हम ऑपोजिशन में हैं तो उनको आईना नहीं दिखाएंगे क्या? हम गवर्नमेंट को सपोर्ट करेंगे क्या? आप धोखा देकर चले गए, हम लोगों को पीठ में छुरा घोंप दिया और उन लोगों से हाथ मिला लिया जिन लोगों ने बिहार में आज जो लिकर माफिया हैं, सबसे ज्यादा आरजेडी से जुड़े लोग हैं। अगर बालू माफिया हैं तो आरजेडी से जुड़े लोग हैं। तो आपने जिन लोगों के साथ हाथ मिला लिया तो आपका हम क्या स्तुति गान करें? हम थे जब साथ में, अगर घटनाएं घटती थी तो हमने आपको बताया है। And being a law, being a home minister, being a police minister, being an excise minister, the entire responsibility, it is the entire burden, entire responsibility is on the head of Nitish Kumar, of the chief minister. आप मुख्यमंत्री हैं, आपकी जिम्मेवारी थी, क्योंकि आप गृह मंत्री हैं, पुलिस के मंत्री हैं, एक्साइज डिपार्टमेंट भी आपके पास था। तो देखिए, it is not only a question of incident what happened day before yesterday in Masrak, but the entire prohibition policy.
कल नीतीश जी का जो रवैया था विधानसभा में, उसके बारे में आपका क्या कहना है?
नहीं, हिंदी में कहते हैं आईना दिखाना। तो जब आपको आईना दिखाया, मिरर दिखाया, तो आप गुस्से में आ गए। भाई, मैंने कभी भी नीतीश जी को 15 साल तक मैं साथ में था, कभी मैंने इस प्रकार का गुस्सा नहीं देखा। लेकिन बीजेपी जब एक्सपोज कर रही है, बीजेपी जब विरोध कर रही है आपकी प्रोहिबिशन का नहीं, आपके इम्प्लीमेंटेशन का, तो आप किस भाषा का प्रयोग कर रहे हैं देख लेंगे। ये कोई नीतीश कुमार की भाषा नहीं हो सकती है। और इसलिए हम लोगों ने कहा कि नीतीश कुमार को क्षमा याचना करनी चाहिए। और अब नीतीश जी बिहार को संभाल नहीं पा रहे हैं। नाउ बिहार इज बिकम बियॉन्ड हिज कंट्रोल।
Okay.
He is not been able to implement his ideas in Bihar. Now he's becoming stubborn. तो इसलिए he is losing his cool, he is losing his temper. तो ये नीतीश कुमार आप अपना टेम्पर क्यों लूज कर रहे हैं?
Okay, temper क्यों lose कर रहे हैं? The RJD and JDU say they losing his temper because he is being deliberately baited and provoked. Thanks very much, Sushil Modi ji, for speaking to us. Let me take this across straight to our panel, Abhishek Jha. My first question is to you. Why is Nitish Kumar losing his temper? Is he losing control?
See, Nitish Kumar ji is just speaking for the sake of betterment of Bihar. Padmaja, I would like to mention it very clear. We have said it many a times that liquor prohibition is a different issue and death due to poisonous alcohol whose country is a different issue. I would like to show a tweet of Honorable Shivakumar Modi ji. He was here in the panel 4 months ago. He just tweeted in the favor of this liquor prohibition and mentioned that there are different states in India where there is no liquor prohibition, but still there are deaths. But still there are deaths due to this poisonous alcohol. उन्होंने साफ तौर पर कहा कि जिन राज्यों में शराबबंदी लागू नहीं है, वहां भी अक्सर बिहार से ज्यादा बड़ी घटनाएं। पश्चिम बंगाल में 167, महाराष्ट्र में 102, UP Uttarakhand में 108. And if you talk about Gujarat also, some honorable member of the parliament asked a question that within the span of 6 years, like from 2016 to 2022, how many deaths are there because of poisonous alcohol? And The Honorable Minister answered, replied to that there were around 6,174 deaths across the nation. There are various states in which there is no liquor prohibition, but still there is huge tragedy. We are very much concerned.
But the Chief Minister don't come out and say, sir, कि पियोगे तो मरोगे.
See, any cause which is related to social issue cannot be totally successful without the active participation of people. If anyone is very much willing to purchase poison from the market and consume it, what will be the result? The result will be death. We are not running away from our responsibilities. If there is a
the issue of prohibition is point number one. The issue of why illegal trade and manufacture of liquor is happening is point number two. But the thing we are talking about is the attitude of the government. Can the Chief Minister come out and say, हाँ जी तो हर देश में होता ही रहता है, हर प्रदेश में चलता है. अगर लॉ बन जाती है उससे हत्या थोड़ा ना रुक जाती है. फिर तो आप ये भी कहिए ना, फिर तो उत्तर प्रदेश में कोई कहेगा कि लॉ बन जाती है उससे रेप थोड़ा ना रुक जाता है. तो हाथरस के बारे में आप क्यों राजनीति करते हैं? लॉ आ जाने से तो कोई भी क्राइम नहीं रुकता है. ना आपका लिकर इलीगल लिकर रुकता है, ना हत्या रुकती है, ना चेन स्नैचिंग रुकती है. यहां तक कि तो फिर आरपीजी जो आप दागे जा रहे हैं पंजाब में वो भी नहीं रुकता. देन लेट्स नॉर्मलाइज ऑल ऑफ दिस.
मैं पूरी जिम्मेदारी के साथ पद्मजा आपसे कह रहा हूं कि सरकार और प्रशासन अपनी जिम्मेदारी और जवाबदेहियों से पीछे हटने की बात नहीं कर रहा है. We are concerned that if something like that happens, there is some loophole in the administration side. We are taking strict actions against them also.
Don't hang on to what the Chief Minister is saying, Tuinsina, because on ground the work is happening. It's a mammoth task.
Chief Minister,
you also had challenges. Nitish government also has challenges. Tuinsina.
Chief Minister is just explaining the fact that if anyone is trying to purchase poison from the market and consuming it, the result will be
CM is
3 साल पहले जेडीयू ने देखिए पद्मजा जी 3 साल पहले नीतीश कुमार की पार्टी ने एक लाइन दिया था, क्यों करे विचार ठीक है तो है नीतीश कुमार. उस समय नीतीश कुमार ठीक थे क्योंकि हम लोग उनको टाइट करके रखते थे. आज पूरा बिहार उनसे कह रहा है, हर बिहारी की यही गुहार, कब रिटायर हो रहे हैं नीतीश कुमार. So this, the huge tragedy is only the symptom of the larger collapse of law and order in Bihar, and it needs to be seen in that perspective. From the time these people have come into government, daylight murders, robberies have become a commonplace again. And we know for a fact that there are two parties in India, specifically the Samajwadi Party in Uttar Pradesh. Please, sir, calm down. There are only two parties in India, Samajwadi Party in Uttar Pradesh and Rashtriya Janata Dal in Bihar, which are synonymous with the collapse in law and order. So is the casual indifference with which he makes his remarks in the Bihar assembly, somewhere is he being influenced by the liquor mafia? Is he silently abetting that? That is the larger question.
Abdul Basit ji, ये जो संवेदनहीनता है, it comes from because the priorities are different. बीजेपी कह रही है कि संवेदना शराब माफिया के साथ है, उन माफिया के विक्टिम्स के साथ नहीं है.
पिछले 15 साल से जी मैं आ रहा हूं. पिछले 15 साल से भारतीय राजनीति में जब से ज्यादा बोलबाला बीजेपी का हुआ है, तो असामाजिक तत्व पैदा हो गए पूरे देश की पॉलिटिक्स में. कहीं भी कोई शराब माफिया हो, क्रिमिनल हो, हत्यारे हो, लुटेरे हो, उनके तार ऑटोमेटिक भाजपा से मिल जाते हैं. मगर भाजपा एक वॉशिंग मशीन है, इस तरह के लोगों को प्रोत्साहित करती है, प्रोटेक्ट करती है, सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट की आड़ में उनको बचाती है. सच ये है.
पर सर, अब तो राज्य में आपकी सरकार है, तो ये भाजपा की वॉशिंग मशीन क्या अभी भी आपके राज्य में चल रही है? नहीं तो हटा दीजिए ना वॉशिंग मशीन को, आप पकड़िए सबको, फेंकिए उनको जेल के अंदर, बंद कीजिए माफिया.
मैं आपको
वॉशिंग मशीन का तार उखाड़ फेंकिए.
अभी आपको जब ये सरकार में होते हैं तो ये सिर्फ चीजें दबाते हैं. अब ये सरकार से बाहर हैं तो ये खुलेआम करते हैं ताकि सरकार को बदनामी का सामना करना पड़े. इन्हें सत्ता लेने के लिए ये
तो एक सेकंड, आप कह रहे हैं कि मार्च 2022 में जो कांड हुआ था वो भी बीजेपी के माफियाओं ने कराया था, जब आपकी पार्टी ने कहा था कि गवर्नमेंट का जो जवाब है वो बिल्कुल भी सैटिस्फैक्टरी नहीं है. जो हुच से डेथ्स हो रही हैं उनको दबाया जा रहा है। गवर्नमेंट ना तो कंफर्म कर रही है ना डिनाई कर रही है। तो मार्च में जो मौतें हुई वो भी बीजेपी की तरफ से हुई और अभी जो मौतें हो रही है वो बीजेपी की तरफ से हुई।
ना मैडम मैं आपको स्पष्ट कर दूं, देखिए सुशील मोदी बहुत ही सहानुभूति रख रहे थे अभी बिहार के जिन बेचारों की हत्याएं हुई, पूरे देश उनके साथ खड़ा है, ऐसी बात नहीं है। मगर आप इसको अगर जुडिशियल वाकई में ईमानदारी से इंक्वायरी कराए तो मैं जानता हूं कि सुशील मोदी की बहुत बड़ी प्रोटेक्शन है देश शराब माफियाओं के साथ।
तो सर आप पकड़ लीजिए ना, पुलिस तो आपके पास है, राज्य में आपकी सरकार, आपका तंत्र, आपके मंत्री और सुशील मोदी और भाजपा पूरा माफिया आपकी नाक के नीचे कैसे चला ले रहे हैं?
इनकी चाबियां टाइट कर रहे हैं मैडम। इसे पूरे देश से उखाड़ फेंकने का काम राष्ट्रीय जनता दल, जेडीयू और जितने भी हमारे अलायंस है सब देश के।
ओके, तो इनसे ना आपने इतना डीपली एंट्रेंच कर रखा है माफिया को कि अभी उनकी चाबी टाइट करने में वक्त लग रहा है, पर शुरुआत हो गई है, शुरुआत हो गई है। आपके माफिया को उखाड़ा जाएगा।
इतने ज्यादा हो गए हैं।
बेसिकली यू आर अक्यूजिंग आरजेडी ऑफ कल्टिवेटिंग दीज माफिया एंड दे आर अक्यूजिंग यू टू इनसेना।
कोई बख्शा नहीं जाएगा, बिल्कुल इनको माफियाओं को
वही बात हो जाती है कि उल्टा चोर कोतवाल को डांटे। जो आरोप इन्होंने सुशील मोदी जी के खिलाफ लगाया है, सुशील मोदी जी शायद इनको डेफेमेशन केस डालेंगे इनके ऊपर, लेकिन मैं बस आपको ये कह रहा हूं कि यू कैन कंपेयर द टोन एंड टेनर ऑफ नीतीश कुमार व्हेन ही वाज विद द बीजेपी. He must have been with us for at least 10-11 years. There were 2-3 years when he went away in 2012 and then again in 2000, so if for 4 years in between he was not there. For in the last 10-11 years when he was there from 2005 onwards, has he ever spoken in this manner? The casual indifference with which he speaks today shows that he has no control over the state machinery, which is probably indicative that RJD is in full control. And if this is what Nitish Kumar had to reduce Bihar to, why does he want to continue? He should quit politics. That is our point.
इन्हें सत्ता के चक्कर में बिहार की भोली भाली जनताओं को जहरीली शराब भी ये पिला रहे हैं और देश के जहां
सत्ता से बाहर तो नीतीश कुमार नहीं रह सकते। दल बदलू, रंग बदलू, जहां उनको सत्ता दिखती है वो वहां पहुंच जाते हैं।
पूरे देश के अंदर ये लोग पूरे देश के अंदर
अगर देखिए हमारे नाम पर नीतीश कुमार ने पिछला चुनाव लड़ा, हम चाहते उनको 40 सीटें आई, हमें लगभग 80 सीटें आई, हम चाहते तो उनको हटा सकते थे। तो हमारी बदौलत अगर वो इलेक्शन जीतते हैं तो कौन, और उसके बाद हमें धोखा देते हैं तो कौन?
जी आप कह रहे हैं कि बीजेपी ये सब सत्ता के लिए कर रही है। मैं आपको उल्टा मुख्यमंत्री जी पर ये आरोप है कि सत्ता का दम्भ उन्हें है और जब उनकी बातें कोई विक्टिम का घर वाला सुनता है तो उन पर क्या बीतेगी। अब आप सुनिए एक भरत राम जी के घर वालों की बात। भरत राम जी की भी सारण में मृत्यु हुई है। उनके घर वाले अगर आज नीतीश जी की बात सुनते हैं तो क्या वो कह रहे हैं, सुनिए।
बताई का भइल रहे?
दारू मैंने कहा था नीतीश कुमार जब बंद हो गल बा तो दारू आयल कहाँ से?
हाँ तो कैसे भरत राम जी के डेथ कैसे भइल?
दारू पीला से भइल। दारू पीला से
हाँ से खरीद के
हाँ थाना वाला से थाना वाला बेच रहा है, थाना वाला देती है, थाना वाला सब बेचाती है, चेक करके आती है, चुपचाप वो आदमी से ले लेती है घूस घास ले करके बेचाती है।
बताइए अब्दुल बासित जी, थानों में बिक रही है शराब, ये बिहार की जनता कह रही है नीतीश कुमार जी को, भाजपा नहीं कह रही है, बिहार की जनता कह रही है कि आपके थाने अब अवैध शराब के अड्डे बन गए।
मैडम पिछले
ये भी भाजपा चला रही है क्या थानों में अड्डे?
15 साल से इन्होंने इतना ज्यादा शराब माफिया 15 साल से इन्होंने जड़ें बना दी हैं। इन जड़ों को हमारे
सर आपने सत्ता में आते ही कितने ट्रांसफर किए?
पूरा
आपने सत्ता में आते ही कोई ट्रांसफर नहीं किए, तो आपको ये नहीं पता कि कौन से थाने हैं जहां भाजपा के लोग शराब बेच रहे हैं? उनको हटाने में आपको इतने महीने क्यों लग गए सर?
मैडम ये देखिए गृह मंत्रालय माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी के अधीन है, उसमें हमारी हस्तक्षेप अभी नहीं है किसी प्रकार की। जो हस्तक्षेप हम
ये तो फुटबॉल आपके कोर्ट में डाल दिया अभिषेक जी, ये तो अब्दुल बासित जी इतनी सफाई से किनारा कर गए कि भाई अगर थानों में अड्डे चल रहे हैं शराब के तो ये तो गृह मंत्री जी यानी कि मुख्यमंत्री जी बताएंगे। बताइए अभिषेक झा, आप ही बताइए। इतने महीने हो गए, थानों में शराब के अड्डे क्यों चल रहे हैं? चलिए भाजपा ने पसाए, आपने क्यों नहीं हटाए?
ये भाजपा प्रायोजित है मैडम, या बनी है
भाजपा प्रायोजित है, पर आप उनका प्रायोजन क्यों नहीं कर पाए? इसीलिए आपको सरकार में लाया गया है।
आप बिल्कुल नहीं,
इसीलिए आपके साथ सरकार में आए क्योंकि भाजपा का प्रायोजन आप खत्म करें। लोगों की जानें जा रही हैं, आप खत्म कीजिए भाजपा का प्रायोजन और सबसे पहले सबको उठा के जेल में डालिए, पूरी की पूरी भारतीय जनता पार्टी को, अगर ये सच है तो।
पद्मजा, मैं आपके माध्यम से
100% डलेंगे।
मैं पूछना चाहता हूं कि अगर वो लोग इस तरह से शराबबंदी के खिलाफ हैं तो फिर सार्वजनिक पंच से क्यों नहीं डिक्लेयर कर देते हैं
सर,
कि हाँ,
शराबबंदी के खिलाफ कोई नहीं है। आप बार बार दो चीजों को क्यों मिला रहे हैं? ये तो अभी सुशील मोदी जी ने भी साफ बोला, हम शराबबंदी के साथ खड़े हैं, पर जो अवैध शराब बेची जा रही है हम उसके खिलाफ हैं, और उस अवैध शराब को जो माफिया चला रहा है हम उसके खिलाफ हैं, और अवैध शराब की माफिया से जो मौतें हो रही हैं उस पर लोगों को कह देना कि अगर करोगे तो भरोगे।
जवाब दूं,
उसके खिलाफ है।
मैं जवाब दूं
दीजिए। या
सुशील कुमार मोदी जी कहां चले जाते हैं जब गुजरात में इतनी मौतें होती हैं, उत्तर प्रदेश में जहां उनकी सरकारें हैं इतनी मौतें होती हैं? ये लोग सिर्फ अपने राजनीतिक आकाओं को खुश करने के लिए इस तरह के पॉलिटिकल बयान देते हैं।
सर, आप मेरे को सिर्फ इतना बता दीजिए, एज समबडी फ्रॉम बिहार, आपको सच में लगता है कि कल जो नीतीश जी ने विधानसभा के अंदर और आज उसके बाहर बोला वो संवेदनशील था? अगर किसी के घर में कोई चल बसा हो, क्या उसको ये सुनना चाहिए?
आप ये समझिए कि जिसने शराब कंज्यूम की वो अपराधी है, घर के लोग अपराधी नहीं है, हमारी संवेदनाएं उनके साथ। लेकिन जिसने गलत किया है, खुद के साथ गलत किया, अपने परिवारजनों के साथ गलत किया, समाज में एक गलत संदेश दिया है, हमारी संवेदनाएं उसके साथ कैसे हो सकती?
तो आपने कह दिया कि जो अवैध शराब पी रहा है वो अपराधी है। चलिए, जो एक और ऐसे अपराधी के घर वालों के बारे में आपके स्टेटमेंट के बारे में क्या कहना है उनको सुन लेते हैं। सुनिए। शराब पीने वाला अपराधी है,
ले लेते हैं, लेकर धरती पर हला देते हैं, और वही दारू सेल कर रहे हैं, तो पॉइजन हो गया है। जब धरती में हलाकर छुपाकर हम रखेंगे साल 2 साल 3 साल, तो दारू के स्वाद कैसा होगा? वो पॉइजन नहीं होगा।
मुख्यमंत्री कह रहे हैं कि गलत चीज पीजिएगा तो यही होगा।
तो गलत चीज को घर से बनाया है, गलत चीज पी रहा है, मर रहा है, तो हम लोग जो पीता है मर्द, उसका पत्नी घर में तैयारी करता है दारू पी कर मर रहा है, अपना बेटा बता के पिया कर अपने पति का तो नहीं मर रहा है, तो बेचा रहे हैं। नीतीश कुमार बेचवा रहे हैं, और वो भी कह रहे हैं कि दारू नहीं बंद होगा, जो पिएगा से मरेगा।
वो तुम्हारे ही पापा थे?
हाँ।
क्या हुआ था उनको?
दारू पी
दारू पिए थे?
हाँ। सवेरे हॉस्पिटल में ले गए हम लोग, हॉस्पिटल वाले रेफर कर दिए छपरा के लिए, छपरा जाते ही रास्ते में डेथ हो गया।
अब्दुल बासित जी, अंत में मैं आपसे पूछूंगी कि अगस्त 2022 में जब 9 लोगों की मृत्यु हुई थी सारण में ही, उस वक्त रघुवंश प्रसाद जी ने बोला था कि जो आम आदमी है उसको अपराधी बनाकर जेल में डाला जा रहा है, ये जो पूरी प्रोहिबिशन की नीति ही खराब है, और अगर आरजेडी सत्ता में आई तो सबसे पहले तो हम इस नीति को ही खत्म कर देंगे। क्या हुआ वो वादा?
नहीं मैडम, इसके ऊपर विचार हम लोग बोर्ड सरकार की सारी जितने भी पार्टियां हैं, जो भी अधिकारी हैं, सब तो एक टेबल पे बात चल रही है। इसके ऊपर एक पॉलिसी बनाने की तैयारी चल रही है, बट इसको थोड़ा सा इसमें पॉलिसी जैसे बनने की हो पे आती है, तो जो विपक्ष है उसका एक ऐसा बड़ा माफिया तंत्र है जो इसमें बार बार भिन्न प्रकार से परेशानियां सामने ला रहा है। जानबूझकर के शराब माफियाओं
ये तो खुद मुख्यमंत्री जी डिफेंड कर रहे हैं आपकी पॉलिसी को, प्रोहिबिशन को तो खुद मुख्यमंत्री जी असेंबली के अंदर डिफेंड कर रहे हैं, इसमें विपक्ष की बात क्या है? चलिए, आप भरोसा दिला रहे हैं कि इस नीति पर विचार चल रहा है, भाजपा के माफिया की कमर तोड़ने पर विचार चल रहा है, जो पुलिस थाने अड्डे बन गए हैं शराब के उन पर विचार चल रहा है। सर, थोड़ा जल्दी विचार कीजिए, लोगों की जान जा रही है। थैंक यू वेरी मच ऑल जेंटलमैन एंड व्यूअर्स फॉर जॉइनिंग मी।
The News Hour at 10 will be right back after the break.
आज हम यहाँ पे लेके आए हैं एक बहुत ही अनोखा डिवाइस, द न्यू ओप्पो रेनोवेट प्रो हाउस ऑफ द ड्रैगन्स एडिशन। एंड चलिए इसे अनबॉक्स करते हैं। डब्बा तो काफी बड़ा दिया है इन्होंने। आपको गाइस दिख रहा होगा, ये है आपका ड्रैगन के स्केल्स जैसा पैटर्न दिया हुआ है यहाँ पे। मैंने इसके आधे पैकेजिंग फाड़ दी ऑलरेडी। ये रहा आपका रेनोवेट प्रो हाउस ऑफ द ड्रैगन्स एडिशन। चलिए तो इसे अनबॉक्स करते हैं। बॉक्स का जैसा आप देख सकते हैं यहाँ पे हाउस ऑफ ड्रैगन्स का इंसिग्निया दिया हुआ है। यहाँ पे हाउस ऑफ द ड्रैगन्स ओप्पो लिखा हुआ है एंड पीछे HBO का लोगो, ऑफिशियल मर्चेंडाइज। ये 12-256 वेरिएंट है। सो चलिए इसे ओपन करते हैं।
The News Hour at 10.
In a massive development, India has test-fired Agni-5 intercontinental ballistic missile in Odisha. This comes in the backdrop of Tawang clashes. After Pakistan raised Kashmir issue at the UN, Foreign Minister S. Shivshankar said that Islamabad has no right to sermonize after sheltering Osama bin Laden and sponsoring cross-border terrorism. Calcutta High Court has sought clarification from the West Bengal and central government on their stand on judicial probe demand in custodial death of accused Lalan Sheikh. While addressing an audience at the inauguration ceremony of BJP district offices in Kopala, BJP chief JP Nadda said that Congress Bharat Jodo Yatra is actually Bharat Todo Yatra. BJP has declared that Shankar Chaudhary and Jethabhai Bharwar are to be the candidates for the post of Speaker and Deputy Speaker of the newly formed State Legislative Assembly.
The News Hour at 10. We'll be right back after the break.
आजकल कार्स में इतनी ज्यादा हाई टेक्नोलॉजी आ गई है जिसके बारे में बात किए बिना नहीं रहा जा सकता, और इसी वजह से आज इस मर्सिडीज EQS जो 580 4MATIC है उसे हम लेकर आए हैं। इसका रिव्यू, इसकी ड्राइव परफॉर्मेंस तो आप जान चुके हैं, लेकिन इसे कुछ एक कूल फीचर्स ऐसे हैं जिनको मैं खुद से एक्सपीरियंस।
The News Hour at 10.
In a major development in Shraddha murder case, a DNA test has confirmed that the bones recovered from the jungles of Mehroli belong to Shraddha, as they match her father's DNA. A CBI court has accepted the charge sheet filed by the probe agency in the Delhi Excise Policy probe. The court has issued summons to all the 7 accused who have been named in the charge sheet. The EOW team of the Mumbai police has given clean chit to BJP leader Kirit Somaiya and his son for allegedly misappropriating funds collected to restore the decommissioned aircraft carrier INS Vikrant. Gangster Mukhtar Ansari, who was arrested by the ED yesterday, has been handed over 10-year jail term in Gangster Act case registered in 1996. A day after the horrible acid attack on a 17-year-old schoolgirl in New Delhi, DCW has written a letter to CEOs of 2 online retail giants, Amazon and Flipkart, about sale of acid on their online platforms.
आज हम यहाँ पे लेके आए हैं एक बहुत ही अनोखा डिवाइस, द न्यू ओप्पो रेनोवेट प्रो हाउस ऑफ द ड्रैगन्स एडिशन। एंड चलिए इसे अनबॉक्स करते हैं। डब्बा तो काफी बड़ा दिया है इन्होंने। आपको गाइस दिख रहा होगा, ये है आपका ड्रैगन के स्केल्स जैसा पैटर्न दिया हुआ है यहाँ पे। मैंने इसके आधे पैकेजिंग फाड़ दी ऑलरेडी। ये रहा आपका रेनोवेट प्रो हाउस ऑफ द ड्रैगन्स एडिशन। चलिए तो इसे अनबॉक्स करते हैं। बॉक्स का जैसा आप देख सकते हैं यहाँ पे हाउस ऑफ ड्रैगन्स का इंसिग्निया दिया हुआ है। यहाँ पे हाउस ऑफ द ड्रैगन्स ओप्पो लिखा हुआ है एंड पीछे HBO का लोगो, ऑफिशियल मर्चेंडाइज। ये 12-256 वेरिएंट है। सो चलिए इसे ओपन करते हैं। ओके, सो ये ओपन होता है एक स्क्रोल के साथ। ये रहा आपका स्क्रोल। हाँ, तो इसमें आपका पूरा लिखा हुआ है गॉड्स, किंग्स, फायर एंड ब्लड, ड्रीम्स डिडंट मेक अस किंग्स, ड्रैगन्स डिड। सो ये है आपका स्क्रोल। अच्छा, तो इसमें एक नीचे ये दिया हो गया है। सो अब निकलेगा मेन। सो इसमें स्टार्टिंग ऑफ, अच्छा ये है आपका एक सिम इजेक्टेड टूल ड्रैगन के शेप में। ये आपका एक कीचेन है। सो बेसिकली इस लिमिटेड एडिशन को आपको इंडिया में अभी लॉन्च हुआ है। सो ये है आपका एक कीचेन ड्रैगन के इंसिग्निया के साथ, हाउस ऑफ ड्रैगन्स। ये है आपका एक फोन कवर के लिए। बिल्ड क्वालिटी काफी अच्छा है। ये मेटल का है और यहाँ पे जैसे देख सकते हैं टेप लगा है। सो काफी अच्छी बिल्ड क्वालिटी है इस चीज का। ऑफ कोर्स इट्स लिमिटेड एडिशन, व्हाट डू यू एक्सपेक्ट। एंड ये है सबसे मेन। सो ये रहा आपका ड्रैगन एग। अब जाते हैं मेन फोन पे। सब कुछ आ गया। ये है आपका कवर। इसमें जैसा आप देख सकते हैं TM, ट्रेडमार्क, HBO वगैरह सब ऑफिशियल मर्चेंडाइज के जो भी राइटिंग्स होता है। एंड अब ये रहा आपका फोन। सो ये बेसिक बॉक्स, फुल्ली ब्लैक बॉक्स विथ जस्ट हाउस ऑफ ड्रैगन्स ओप्पो लिखा हुआ है इस पे एंड प्रैक्टिकली नथिंग एल्स ऑन द बॉक्स। सो इसकी होगी अब अलग अनबॉक्सिंग। ये रहा आपका ऑफिशियल एप्पो रेनोवेट प्रो जो आपका पहले लॉन्च हुआ था। ये वही बॉक्स पैकेजिंग है। इसको भी अनबॉक्स कर लेते हैं। सो बेसिकली इस मॉडल के साथ आपको दो कवर्स आएंगे। एक स्टैंडर्ड ट्रांसपेरेंट केस कवर जो बॉक्स में आता है एंड अनदर कवर विद द ड्रैगन इंसिग्निया। ये रहा आपका फोन। बिल्ड क्वालिटी की तो बात ही नहीं कर सकते क्योंकि हम ऑलरेडी कर चुके हैं इसकी अनबॉक्सिंग एंड रिव्यू। ये वही सेम फोन है। सो ये रहा आपका रेनोवेट प्रो। डिजाइन के हिसाब से ऑलरेडी हम सारे फिर से रिपीट कर रहा हूँ, ऑलरेडी हम सब बात कर चुके हैं। फॉर मोर सच न्यूज लॉग ऑन टू timesnownews.com गैजेट टाइम्स।
I'm super duper excited about this new product that I have with me. This is Sony SRS XE300 portable Bluetooth speaker. This one is available in 3 colors, blue, black and silver. जैसे कि आप देख पा रहे हैं मेरी यहाँ पर जो यूनिट है ये है एक ब्लैक कलर ऑप्शन में। इस वीडियो में जानेंगे स्पीकर के बारे में थोड़ा सा डिटेल में। आपको दिखाऊंगी कि एक्चुअल में दिखता कैसे है, बटन्स इसके कितने स्मूथ हैं एंड एटसेट्रा एटसेट्रा। हाय, यू आर वाचिंग गैजेट टाइम्स। दिस इज मी पावनी जैन। नाउ इट्स टाइम टू टॉक अबाउट इन डिटेल अबाउट द SRS XE300 स्पीकर। शुरुआत करेंगे इसके डिजाइन के साथ। वो चीज मुझे बहुत ही ज्यादा पसंद आई। I'll tell you why. Because Sony has opted for an unconventional non-circular design. इसमें आपको 5 तरफा से म्यूजिक सुनाई देगा। सामने की ओर 2 स्पीकर्स बड़े बड़े लगे हुए हैं, विच मीन सोनी इज क्लेमिंग कि ये जो इसका अनकन्वेंशनल डिजाइन है, दिस इज डेलिबरेट जस्ट टू डिलीवर द हाई क्वालिटी साउंड। लुक्स की बात करें तो ओवरऑल थोड़ा मिनिमलिस्ट डिजाइन है, आई रियली लाइक्ड इट। सामने आपको मैश स्ट्राइप दिखाई देगा, उसी तरीके से आपको टॉप पर भी मैश स्ट्राइप दिखाई देगा, बॉटम पर भी। यहाँ पे स्पीकर के साइड में आपको सारे बटन्स दिखाई देते हैं, जैसे कि पावर ऑन एंड ऑफ, ब्लूटूथ, पॉज, प्ले, वॉल्यूम अप एंड डाउन, माइक म्यूट का भी एक बटन है जो कि मुझे लगता है बहुत ही ज्यादा यूजफुल होने वाला है। पीछे की तरफ आपको यहाँ पर USB टाइप सी पोर्ट भी मिलता है, जिसको आप कवर कर सकते हैं टू प्रोटेक्ट इट ऑफ कोर्स अगेंस्ट डस्ट एंड वाटर स्प्लैशेस एंड स्टफ। इसी के साथ अगर वेट की बात करें तो दिस स्पीकर्स वेज अराउंड 1.3 kgs, थोड़ा सा हैवी लगता है। हालांकि अगर आप घर में इसको पार्टी के टाइम इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं, बिकॉज इट्स अ पार्टी स्पीकर एज वेल, तो आपको बहुत ही ज्यादा मजा आने वाला है, लेकिन इस तरह से थोड़ा सा हैवी लगता है। वहीं पे ब्लूटूथ की बात करें तो दिस XE300 सपोर्ट्स ब्लूटूथ 5.2, इसी के साथ इसका ब्लूटूथ रेंज है 30 मीटर्स। बैटरी की बात करें तो कंपनी क्लेम करती है दैट यू कैन प्ले दिस डिवाइस ऑल डे लॉन्ग ऑन अ सिंगल चार्ज, और उसके बाद अगर आप इसको 10 मिनट के लिए चार्ज करते हैं तो आपको मिलता है 70 मिनट्स का प्ले टाइम। अब अगर आपने स्पीकर को ड्राइंग रूम, लिविंग रूम या बेडरूम कहीं पर भी रखा है तो ऑफ कोर्स सी बात है कि डस्ट पड़ने के इस पे चांसेस बहुत ज्यादा होते हैं। जाहिर सी बात है, उसी तरह अगर पार्टी कर रहे हैं तो वाटर स्प्लैशेस के भी चांसेस हैं। जस्ट टू प्रोटेक्ट द डिवाइस फ्रॉम दैट, कंपनी ने इसमें दिया है IP67 रेटिंग टू प्रोटेक्ट दिस डिवाइस अगेंस्ट डस्ट एज वेल एज वाटर। Now if you want to use the advanced feature of this speaker, you need to connect to the Sony Music Center app. वहां से आप 2 नए फीचर्स को एक्टिवेट कर सकते हैं, एक है स्टीरियो पेयर और दूसरा है पार्टी कनेक्ट। स्टीरियो पेयर में आप 2 सेम स्पीकर्स को कनेक्ट कर सकते हैं साथ में एंड प्ले द म्यूजिक इन सिंक। उसी तरह पार्टी कनेक्ट का जो फीचर है, वहां पर यू कैन कंबाइन दिस फीचर अप टू 100 स्पीकर्स, ऑफ कोर्स यूजिंग द ब्लूटूथ टेक्नोलॉजी, एंड प्ले द म्यूजिक इन सिंक। पार्टी के माहौल में ये फीचर बहुत ही ज्यादा हेल्पफुल होने वाला है। आई थिंक दीज टू बोथ द फीचर्स आर वेरी हेल्पफुल अगर आप इस्तेमाल करना चाहें तो। इतने सारे फीचर्स के बारे में बात कर ली है, आपको बता दिया है कि बेसिक इसमें आपको क्या क्या मिलता है। अब बात कर लेते हैं प्राइस टैग की। सोनी ने इस स्पीकर को प्राइस टैग दिया है ₹24,990। इस प्राइस पे क्या आपको ये डिवाइस खरीदना चाहिए या नहीं, ये तो आपको हमारे फुल रिव्यू में पता चलेगा। उसके लिए यू रियली नीड टू स्टे ट्यून टू आइदर गैजेट टाइम्स का यूट्यूब चैनल या फिर टाइम्स।
Hello and a very warm welcome. You're watching Times Now with me, Priya Behel. In this overnight edition, let's first take you through the big stories that you need to know about. The latest viewership ratings are out and they show that Times Now is stamping its dominance amongst English news channels on the counting day. Besides election results, they all through the election week as well, Times Now has been the most watched news channel in English. The massive gap between the leader, Times Now, and the rest is a huge endorsement of the channel of action and analysis by you, the viewer, and we are grateful for that. Intercontinental missile Agni 5 capable of carrying nuclear warheads to be tested has been tested today in the backdrop of Tawang clashes. Maharashtra panel for interfaith marriages triggers row. AIMIM says panel unconstitutional, aim to create hatred and violates personal liberty. Backing the panel, BJP said that it is meant to ensure women's safety. At least 40 people have lost their lives and several are still hospitalized after consuming spurious liquor in Bihar's Saran district. Bihar Chief Minister Newshour has blamed the victims in this case, saying that if someone consumes spurious liquor, they are bound to die. Bihar Industry Minister Sameer Mahaset adds salt to injuries, claims that the strength of body has to be improved to tolerate poisonous liquor. Blaming Nitish administration, BJP has claimed that the government has completely failed in implementation of prohibition on liquor consumption. Karnataka Congress Chief D.K. Shivakumar says that the cooker blast in Mangaluru took place by mistake, alleging that the BJP flared up the matter in order to garner votes. After the demolition of Jaish terrorist Nehru's house, PDP leader Mehbooba Mufti says bahut ho gaya when questioned about action against Jaish terrorists. After Pakistan raises Kashmir issue at the United Nations, Foreign Minister S. Shivshankar says Islamabad has no right to sermonize after sheltering Osama bin Laden and sponsoring cross-border terrorism. Calcutta High Court has sought clarification from West Bengal and central governments on their stance on a judicial probe demand in custodial death of Bogtoi riot accused Lalan Sheikh. Mamata Banerjee administration has moved to Supreme Court challenging the Calcutta High Court blanket immunity provided to Suvendu Adhikari. The Supreme Court has asked the government to approach Chief Justice of Calcutta High Court instead. After allegations of rift between senior BJP leaders B.S. Yediyurappa and Karnataka Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai, both of them were seen travelling together in a car to party President J.P. Nadda's event. Amid speculations that B.S. Yediyurappa will be skipping BJP President's event that triggered rumours of the rift, BSY clarified that he was busy elsewhere and thought that he won't be able to make it to the event in question. Trashing the rumours of rift, Chief Minister Bommai said that his relationship with Yediyurappa is like that of a father and a son and that rumour mongers will be disappointed. Mumbai Police's Economic Offences Wing team has given BJP leader Kirit Somaiya and his son a clean chit in alleged misappropriation of funds case collected to restore the decommissioned aircraft carrier INS Vikrant. In a mega development in Shraddha murder case, a DNA test has confirmed that the bones recovered from jungles of Gurgaon and Mehrauli belong to Shraddha as they match her father's DNA. A CBI court has taken cognizance of charge sheet filed by the probe agency in Delhi excise policy case. The court has issued summons to all 7 accused who have been named in the charge sheet. While addressing an audience at the inauguration ceremony of BJP district offices in Koppal, BJP chief J.P. Nadda said that Congress's Bharat Jodo Yatra is actually Bharat Todo Yatra. BJP declares Shankar Chaudhary and Jethabhai Bharwar are going to be the candidates for the posts of Speaker and Deputy Speaker in the newly formed State Legislative Assembly. The Supreme Court has sought responses from Election Commission and others on a petition which alleged that the poll panel had suo motu deleted 46 lakh entries from electoral rolls in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana back in 2015. Delhi High Court has reserved its order on an appeal by former Maharashtra Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray challenging the decision dismissing his plea against an Election Commission's interim order freezing Shiv Sena's name and election symbol. Maharashtra Chief Minister Eknath Shinde is all set to sign a memorandum of understanding with Hinduja Company. This after the state lost a big Vedanta Foxconn project to its neighbouring state of Gujarat. Cops have arrested Saif Ali Salim, the man accused of raping a 14-year-old minor Dalit girl and making a video of the same in Patan, Maharashtra. A 12-year-old boy was raped in a madrasa in Sarai Rohila area. The accused Muhammad Isran is an ulema and is absconding. Gangster Mukhtar Ansari was arrested by the Enforcement Directorate yesterday, has been handed over 10-year jail term in Gangster Act case registered in 1996. Union Home Secretary Ajay Kumar Bhalla chaired a high-level meeting on airport rush in the Ministry of Home Affairs. Videos of long queues at the immigration counters had